This is Arc Hardcore. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, that plus he hits for 200. Die, dude. If you're unfamiliar with the term hardcore, let me break it down for you real quick. Playing Arc on hardcore mode means that if I die, my character gets destroyed and everything I've worked for goes along with it. Now, I've got the perfect plan for this Arc, from building a mega base to achieving things you've never seen done in Arc before, so let's not die. Kicking things off in the spawning screen, I chose to be woken up on the beaches of East Zone 3, an unusual spawn but one I was willing to gamble my luck on. Okay, here we are. Hardcore Arc Survival Ascended. This is gonna be tricky. Let's get to it, man. I need a pickaxe straight away. The pickaxe didn't even finish crafting before I could hear the first sounds of conflict to my right. Not good at all. Let's go down the beach this way. I'm gonna need a hatchet next, that's for sure. I gave this tree a few smacks before running up to a big rock to get some flint, and I then could unlock and craft the hatchet. And with this hatchet, I'm gonna use that to make spears. That'll just be a good way to, kill some things, get some hide, also defend myself. So after picking a few bushes, mining up some stone and flint, then assaulting a tree, I could make a whole 9 spears. Now, while I'm crafting these spears, I'll also explain I'm playing with one mod, being the Vanilla with Sprinkles mod. It just adds a few quality of life features like the pull button up here, you can pull to craft things. It adds auto engrams, which is pretty nice. Crafting skill tonic, and you can also see how many points you put into each level. That goes for dinos as well. So it doesn't add anything crazy, it just kind of makes life a little bit easier. I'm already planning on hardcore. Any help I can get, definitely gonna be appreciated. Hello. Taming a Pteranodon off the bat would be nice, especially a 145, jeez. There were quite a few things that I had to get done before I could knock out or even tame that Pteranodon. The first thing, of course, would be to get some hide, so I ran down the beach looking for any easy pickings. Surely I can take out 2 Dilos, as long as they're not too high level. Level 20, perfect. Level 20 to level 60. Could not have asked for easier levels to deal with. Now, with a little bit of hide acquired, I can make some clothes and get dressed. So I picked a few bushes for fiber and then crafted up the classic set of cloth drip. Okay, now that I'm all dripped out, I think it's mandatory next that I have to make some bolas. If I'm high enough level for them, that is. I'm not. Okay. I gotta level up a few times. Let's go try and kill some things. Bolas would be my saving grace against things like raptors this early on, so it's definitely a good idea to get some made as soon as possible. Hello, Lystro. Oh my. These Lost Colony skill points might actually be super useful since I can get rapid healing, less fall damage, stuff that will actually keep me alive. I just needed one more level to unlock Bolas, so I ran over to the first Dilo I spotted while also completing the running milestone. Dodo, perfect. Oh my. And there's my level up. I think I've got another Dodo coming at me here. Yeah, that's a baby. My bad, dude. Leave me alone! You can just go on your way. Anyways, I made the first 3 bolas, but I needed more than that, of course, so I got some more stone and thatch to make a few extras. Oh, I can craft a bow already? That bow also needed arrows, so I farmed up a bunch of those before spotting my next victim. Low free hide. I think him just taking a poop and turning his head just prolonged his life. Anyways, let's make a campfire now. Cook some food, and then honestly I think taming a Pteranodon is definitely my safest and best bet. Also, I'm noticing a ton of baby dinos around here, so it shouldn't be too hard to get prime meat to actually tame a Pteranodon. But first, I'm gonna need narcotics for that. So with the campfire set up, I could focus on getting those. I started spoiling a bunch of raw meat and unlocked the mortar and pestle engrams so I could farm one up. After crafting one up, I made a thatch foundation as well so I could set things up here. I didn't want to build any fancy shacks this time around, as this is not the most ideal spot for one. Okay, crafting narcotics is a pretty good way to level up, so I think I'll just farm narco berries while I wait for this meat to spoil. Maybe I'll farm up a bit more meat to make more narcotics as well. On that note, I ran up to the first dodo that I could see and I shot it straight in the cranium. I want to leave the babies alive, gonna need that prime meat. As night was approaching, it was starting to get a bit colder. However, I couldn't make a set of hide armor yet as I wasn't high level enough. Alright, now let's get some narco berries. Oh, that bird scared me. Once all the raw meat spoiled, I ran back to my little outpost and started cooking up the narcotics. Gotta reach level 21 for tranks, so I need 7 levels. An explorer note sure would be nice about now, but I'm on the northeastern side of the map. I don't think there's really any explorer notes up here. Or, I know there are, I just don't know where they're at, I should say. So I got back to picking bushes in hopes of making enough narcotics to put me up to that level 21.
Hello?
Oh, there's raptors right there. Oh, I don't know how they didn't see me. Oh my. Okay, they are really close to my base. That is not good at all. All my narcotics are crafted. That didn't give me nearly as many levels as I thought it would, I'm not gonna lie. I think I might have to go back to Old Faithful, crafting cooking pots. If you don't know cooking pots, for some reason they give you a lot of levels early game when you craft them. Once I was level 20, I got back to picking a few bushes and making narcotics to get that last level. I also found that 145 PT again wandering around the beach, so I had to hurry up. I'll be high enough level to knock out the bird, but not to actually saddle it. Future problem for a very near future me, I guess. And as I got up to 21 from the narcotics, I quickly unlocked and crafted a few trank arrows so I could go knock that PT out. Yes. Okay, bird is asleep. We gotta make spike walls now. I have the hide, I've definitely got the fiber, just gonna be the wood. So I quickly farmed the spikes up and I surrounded the sleeping PT to keep all the pesky dilos out. PT is now protected, got some arrows, so we can try and find a baby to kill for prime meat to actually tame it. Maybe deal with those raptors for the extra hide that I'm gonna need for the saddle. I did need a bunch more levels to unlock the PT saddle though, so my best bet would to be find an explorer node somewhere. But for the time being, I crafted up a set of hide armor to keep me slightly more protected. Get rid of this 4-person cloth. Okay, oh, I hear a baby. Hello, you made out of prime meat? I ran back and fed the Pteranodon before turning around and spotting a white drop in the forest just up ahead. And I actually want to try and go get that since it could have some keratin inside, which I do need for a PT saddle. But just to be safe, I farmed up a couple of extra bolas before heading out. Kinda asking to get eaten by raptors. Whatever, man, no risk, no reward, right? Oh, there are the raptors. Oh, they're on me whether I like it or not. Okay, only 2? I can deal with 2. Come on. Yes! Oh, my life flashed before my eyes. Okay, get the hide. Oh, I thought I was cooked there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I ran down to the beach to hydrate, repair my bow, and munch on some steak. I did need the refreshment after such a close call. On the bright side, the PT was 1 feet away from actually being tamed, so I waited around for it to wake up. Okay, Pteranodon is tamed. Oh, straight into the spikes, dude. So I can see the stat points. 49 points in the weight. That's crazy. 37 in the melee, 37 in the health, 32 in the stamina. 49 points in the weight is crazy. That's an awesome stat to start with. However, I couldn't actually saddle him up as I was nowhere near enough high level. So for the time being, I had to close him back in the spikes to keep him protected. Oh, wait, of course, I've got to give this guy a name though. Or this gal, I should say. Old classic, Flappy. Need to keep you alive, Flappy. You're a very valuable resource to me. Oh, she's got something to say about that, I guess. Now, with the main objective of acquiring the 145 Pteranodon now completed, I could focus on actually getting levels and saddling it up. I think I'll have some good luck if I actually do go back down towards the swamp. A lot of dangerous stuff over there, but I'm betting you I can find some buggy boys that are made out of chitin. I whistled Flappy on passes before jogging down the beach towards the swamp. I did come across another small family of dodos, otherwise known as free hides, so I quickly turned them into just that. Okay, I'm pretty close to the swamp here. I definitely don't want to go into the swamp, but hoping I can find some stuff outside of it. Oh, perfect. Meganor is literally right here. I absolutely sniped one of the bugs out of the air, which triggered the rest of the swarm to attack me. Holy, I've got the whole gang. Okay, well, this should be my chitin problem solved. Oh yeah, for sure. Might as well get a bunch while I'm here. I have enough for an Argie saddle, which is in the future, but not too far in the future. With all the chitin that I would need and then some farmed up, I just had to get 9 more levels so I could actually unlock and craft the saddle. Yeah, you know what? I think let's just play it safe, man. I'll farm up 9 levels by cooking pots. It's not that bad. I do need the hide from this guy. Hold up. As I was going back to the beach, I suddenly found myself running head-on into a raptor. Luckily, I was quick with the bolas and packed it up before it could do any harm. Anywho, I made my way back to camp, killing a couple of hide donations along the way. Okay, Flappy, I've got nearly all the stuff to make a saddle. I'm just not high enough level to make it quite yet. Let me go back over to my campfire, we'll get some food cooking, and then I'll farm up these cooking pots here. I've reached level 36. Should be able to make that Pteranodon saddle. What? Oh, it's level 38. No! So approximately 5 cooking pots later, I got up to level 38 and I can finally unlock and craft the Pteranodon saddle. That took a while. Alright, now, let me pick up all these spikes We're gonna have to establish some sort of a base so I can farm up metal and stuff. I can't go straight for my permanent base spot because honestly, it's kind of in a dangerous area. But I plan on building huge walls to surround my base and dinos so we're all safe, but I just don't have the means to do that right now. So in the meantime, let's go find a starter base location. I picked up my campfire and the rest of the outpost before taking flight. Okay, so I want to stay somewhat towards the beach as honestly weather is kind of something I have to worry about. If a heat wave comes along and I'm in the middle of the island, don't have a good way to cool down, I might die, and this is hardcore. Can't really afford to do that. However, if you're by the beaches usually stay pretty cool, they're usually safe, and I am right next to a metal mountain, so I can just make quick trips over there to get the resources that I need and to fuel my addiction. Eventually, I made it to what looked to be a promising beach with a decent amount of flat space. So I decided I would build a proper starter base right here. So here is home for the next little bit at least. Until I make my mega base, that is. I first wanted to get some real estate claims by placing down spikes. I already had some from Taming the Pteranodon and a single thatch foundation to mark the spot for the shack. Okay, I've got an idea in mind for this shack. It's not going to be anything crazy, but I think it should look pretty nice. Nice. There's also a moss shop dying on my spikes. Hey man, you're doing this to yourself. There's 2 moss shops dying on my spikes. I mean, if they die, I'm not gonna turn down the free hide. That guy escaped. This one doesn't seem to be as bright though. Nope, this guy's back for round 2. I accepted the first donation, then helped the second moss shops onto the next world as well. And it actually took a decent amount of arrows and spears to kill it since it was a level 150. Die, you actual meatball. Looks like a porcupine. Finally. As a quick side note, the vanilla with sprinkles mod that I'm using does slightly boost wild creature levels, so there will be more high level creatures spawning in, which is just kind of a nice feature to have. Alright, let's start construction of this thatch base. Okay, thatch hut just about completed, the exterior of it at least. We're gonna need to make some more spike walls that surround the area to keep myself safe. And I actually do have to hide for it, but first I think I want to get some metal smelting. I'm already tired of these stone tools. That being said, I farmed up the bit of fiber and stone that I needed to craft a forge, and I then took care of a new guest that stumbled onto my property. Welcome to the neighborhood. We'll be installing a new HOA, and we don't like dinos. Let's just keep it that way. Anyways, I placed the forge down inside and I grabbed a little bit of metal that I had on Flappy to smelt. With that little bit of metal smelting, I started to relax when all of a sudden a pyro dino jumped out of my lit forge. Dude, what? How did you... I'm so confused. Well, that was weird. That was a deviation from Once Human, who just so happens to be the sponsor of this video. And they just announced a collaboration with Palworld. Just a few days ago on October 29th, Once Human launched a new scenario called Deviation, Survive, Capture, Preserve. In this new open world experience, you can encounter new deviations, craft their skills and stats, and then build yourself a deviation army. Then, on top of all this, Once Human is teaming up with Palworld. Yeah, you're literally going to be able to find pals in Once Human. You'll be able to collect and interact with characters like Cativa, Chilette, and many more. You'll even be able to transform into these pals since this is Once Human. These pals are super useful since they can do collection work as well as being ridden by others after transformation. Like, look at this dude, he's going crazy, putting in them overtime hours. There is a huge open world to catch deviations and pals. It's very similar to taming creatures and art, but pals just aren't randomly showing up in Once Human. They're bringing events too, like the Monster Bus Pal Parade. So if you're ever bored of Ark or just need a little break while you're smelting metal or raising some babies, hop into Once Human. There's so much content to explore when you need something new and refreshing. And with pals from Palworld now in Once Human, ready to be interacted with and transformed into, there is surely some unique gameplay never seen before to be completed. Also, make sure that your playing on the correct servers shown here. This will allow you to be able to interact with this new content. So download Once Human using my link in the description or pinned comment and jump into an entirely new environment and world. The craziness has only just begun. Oh, looks like my metal has finished smelting. I've got to get back to farming some more of that so I don't run out. Okay, let me farm up a little metal from these round river rocks that tend to drop metal. I got just enough to make the smithy and a set of metal tools, so I farmed up the rest of the resources to make said smithy. Awesome, got the smithy made. Why do I hear a lystro being killed out here? Because there's a lystro that was just killed, that's why. And of course, the perpetrator was another Dilo, so I had to shove multiple spears into its noggin. Got a metal pickaxe made. Now I'm going to leave literally everything except food and the metal pickaxe in the smithy, which you can kind of see as a risky move. But I'm actually gonna go fly over to a metal mountain, get some more metal. Hold up, let me put this stuff back in the smithy as well. Stay as light as possible, get as much metal as possible. If I run into anything, you know, I'll keep a few bolos on me just to be safe, but I'll just fly away if I run into anything. Said metal mountain was not too far from home either, so I just had to do a quick back and forth. Blue drop over here, might as well see if I can't grab it. There's just a white drop. Oh, I'm colorblind, never mind, it's a white drop. And a pretty garbage white drop too. Anyways, I flew up to the top of the mountain and looked around to see if anything dangerous was lurking around. I didn't see anything, so I quickly smacked up a little bit of crystal so I could make a spyglass. I then whacked away at a metal node until I was nearly encumbered. That's a decent amount farmed. Can I fly with this? Yes. Oh, we got out of there just in time. That saber was coming for me. The saber was the least of my worries though. Instead, I spotted something much more dangerous wandering the beach way too close to base. Is that an alpha Carno on my beach? No shot. Oh no. Hold up, depending on what level that is, maybe I try and trap it and kill it for levels? That could be really good. So when I returned back home, I crafted the spyglass and flew back to see what level that Carno was. Oh, blue drop with a ring? Okay, no, we have to go and get that. That could have a weapon, maybe a piece of armor. Alpha Carno level 55. See, that would be a pretty tough kill. Man, that's so unlucky being on my beach. What are the odds of that? Alphas are so rare. Anywho, I flew over to the blue drop and I waited for it to land. Oh, a pike and a shield? Oh, that's very good. I don't need these spears anymore. This pike is very strong. That's awesome. Alright, I do believe there are explorer notes around here. Might as well try and grab some, level up Flappy and myself. I could vaguely remember one being in this valley, so I flew around and sure enough I found one, so I leveled up Flappy's weight and stamina. Now as for my character, I was pumping more health since this is hardcore and dying is just not an option. Alright, let's go grab another note in the lake here. There are taxpayers here. I don't know that I'll be able to steal any cementing paste right now though. I flew back home from the little leveling side quest and I crafted a metal hatchet which I would now use to make spike walls to surround my base. I am gonna need some more hide. Let's try out this new pike. Let's put it to the real test on a nugget. Oh, 4 levels from that moss shops? That's crazy. With the hide side of things farmed up, I could get back to smacking up trees and rocks to craft a dino gate. Craft the door of the gate. Next, we'll just do spike walls. Okay, I've finished off surrounding the base with spikes. We've got some access to the water inside of them, which is always nice. And I made a second forge here just to help speed up metal smelting production. Speaking of metal, I invested the few ingots that I had to make the first 3 pieces of flak armor so I wouldn't be so squishy anymore. Got some flak armor. Definitely want some more as well. I also made a few more narcotics before heading out to farm wood for my forges as preparation for my next side quest. Okay, that's a decent amount of wood farmed. Go put this in the forge and then we'll go get even more metal. If you can't tell, I have an addiction, but I also do need it. And that's not the addiction talking. I grabbed the ingots that got smelted while I was at farming and I completed the flag set by crafting a helmet and gauntlets. Full set of flak and an ascendant pike are not looking bad at all. Flappy, we need more metal. Oh yeah, it's hot. It's 125 degrees right now. Like if I was in the center of the island in some parts, I would be cooked. There would be virtually no way for me to survive. Anyways, I got slightly distracted by a purple drop, so I started heading towards it while also checking the levels of pteranodons in the area. Taming a breeding partner for Flappy and then getting an imprinted PT did not sound like a bad idea at all. Oh, metal. Oh, that was such a good drop. And some fur and chitin. That was such a good drop, dude. I flew back home to drop off the ingots, but that didn't mean I would not go on that metal run. The addiction was calling after all. Normally I would be making sure to place a bed down here as well, but kind of pointless where if you die, you're dead. You don't get to play anymore. So before flying back out to that metal mountain, I bullet and killed a Phiomia near base for extra hide. And as I made it up to the mountain, I was also blessed by another drop coming down. Sweet, man, I love me some free loot. While waiting for it to land, I actually got to farming the metal, and by the time it landed, I was already full. Alright, drop. Have something good for me. There's raptors, of course there's raptors. Oh, beer, gilly? That's your blueprint tranks? Whoa. Oh, I'm too heavy. I have to drop some metal. This gilly is really nice. This will keep me cool when I need it. I don't really know why I got excited about this beer. I don't even think I'll need it. Maybe I'll use it to tame something in the future. There are a few dinos on the ark that do like beer. As I was flying back to base, I landed on the beach for stamina, and I actually swapped my flak chest piece out for the gilly one as it had more armor too. Oh, dead megalodon. I mean, do need hide. Okay, they don't give hide. Did not know that. Back at base, I checked out the hatchet blueprint, but seeing it was below 200 damage and required 100 metal ingots to craft, I threw it in the smithy and then proceeded to forget about it. Alright, let's make up a crossbow. Of course, I need fiber. I'll make up a sickle first. I'm already sick of farming fiber. Whoa! Alright, I'm gonna have to hit a bowl on this thing. Got it. Oh, it picked it! Give me that back. I'm killing you with this. I just took it out of my hands. It was a pretty decent way to try and save its own life. Not letting that thing live, though. Are we serious? You're attacking my house? Hold up, I'm just gonna kill it with Flappy. Now that peace was restored, I could finally craft up the crossbow. I think preserving bin is next up on the list. Can I pull for it? Yes, that's such a nice feature. I also cooked up a little bit of spark powder to fire up the preserving bin before transferring all the spoilables over to it. Was there a trike biting my spikes? No, it's just getting hit by them. Oh, is he gonna die? Okay, up next, I want to tame an Argie. I actually want to tame 2 Argies, get a breeding pair, and then hatch out my own imprinted Argie. And the reason I want to do that is because I'm gonna be using an Argie a lot, just, you know, picking up Dodics, Ankylos, flying around. And also, it just makes them stronger in taking down other dinosaurs. And since my mega base is gonna be in a pretty dangerous spot, it's just going to be something pretty important to have. That being said, I got straight to farming up a trap. With a simple Argie trap farmed up, I returned back inside and swapped my gilly chest piece out back for the flak one as I didn't want it to get damaged. Other than that, I was pretty much ready to go out and tame one of those Argies, so I headed out. Thyranodon. Oh, a male 150? That's perfect. You can get a breeding pair right here. Hold up. I bulleted it and forced a couple of tranks into its head before farming up a few spiked walls to surround it. Now let's find a baby dino for some easy prime meat. Carno right there. Hold up, let me kill this. I just don't want this in the area. After packing up the Carno, I got a couple of pieces of prime meat, so I fed that to the BT with some extra raw meat. So I'll just leave that to tame while I go try and tame 2 Argies as well. Pretty quickly, I found a female level 140 Argie pretty close by, so I decided I would just lead it all the way over to my base. Let me leave this guy right here. Go place the trap down. Hello, gorgeous. I then got the Argie into the trap on the first try. Oh, no shot. Got distracted by a dead body. All right, let's try this again. So I then got the Argie into the trap on the first try. Got it. Awesome. It's just what I needed. Since it was starting to get a bit low on health, I paused the tranking process and I went out to grab a dead Dilo's corpse. I just don't want to take the chance of accidentally killing it. Oh, my Pteranodon's tamed. And now it's got full health, so I can trank it out. After it went to sleep, I checked out its stats, but honestly, it was pretty disappointing. Whatever, hopefully we can get a male with better stats. Anyways, I ran over to the male Pteranodon and picked up all the spikes and whistled it back to base so I could breed him up with Flappy. Okay, what are your stats? 35? Oh, 41 stamina? 36 weight? Okay, so this guy's got better everything except stamina. Maybe I can hatch the egg with torches or something? So I literally just want the stamina from this one. And then we'll have a really good imprinted Pteranodon. I waited around for the first egg, and once it popped, I crafted a few standing torches, which I then placed down next to my shack. I made it hotter over here. Now it's too hot. So I'll just leave it out, turn off one. Ah, now it's incubating. Sweet, okay, please give me the stats on the first try. I don't know, well, if the baby doesn't even come out good, I'm just gonna kill it. I've got a really good breeding pair, there's no sense in raising a bad Pteranodon. So I waited patiently until the baby PT was born, and as you all could have seen coming by now, it did not get all the good stats on the first try. Bad baby, I'm sorry. Not really. I'll use the prime meat from this to tame the Argie. After feeding the sleeping Argie, I picked up the trap and headed out to find a high-level male one. Purple drop coming down. Shouldn't have. Is this a Giga? Oh, it's a 145 Giga. Hello. Oh, dude, I think it's stuck in the ruins. Hey, man, stay there for like a good 20, 30-ish hours. I'll be back to tame you. While I did find an absolute gem of a Giga, I could not see another single Argie worth taming around this whole mountain. Get this yellow drop, though. That could be good. Might as well go hit up that purple one as well. There is that other mountain just over there I'll fly over to and look for Argies. What you got from yellow drop? Oh, a scuba tank. That's not bad. It was a pretty decent tank as well with good durability. I flew over to check that purple drop as well, and this one hooked me up with a long neck and some metal and then fur boots as well. I do have to fly back home to store all this stuff away though, as Flappy was getting pretty heavy. Hello. Just minding my business, getting stamina right here. Oh, really? Told you I was just minding my business. It's not harming anyone. Go kill those turtles or something, dude. Argie, what did you tame out with? 21 points in the health, that's horrible. 39 stamina, it's not bad. 38 weight, it's not bad. 33 melee, it's alright. Yeah, pretty mid, Argie. Let me farm some wood for these standing torches. Trying to get me an imprinted baby bird. Whoa! What's going on out here? It's my land. Repeated on my hide. Not safe either, bud. After taking care of the noise outside, I smacked up a few trees and refueled the torches. And soon the second PT egg was produced, so I brought it over to hatch and I waited. 37, 41. No, it got the bad weight and bad melee. Sorry, little one. Alright, I'm honestly gonna wait around until I'm able to hatch Pteranodon that, you know, has all the good stats and I can imprint on. Might as well, man. It'll be faster getting around. That being said, I sat behind Flappy waiting for egg number 3. Once that popped, I threw it out to incubate, but unfortunately, the baby did not make the cut either. Whatever, man. I can do this all day. However, baby PT number 4 popped out at level 226 and it had all the good stats. I'm hoping I can get the imprint on him. If not, it's whatever. So I fed it and renamed the PT to Perfect M. Thankfully, it just requested cooked prime meat for imprint, so I quickly fired up the campfire. Wait, I think I have some. Oh yeah, I think I got some for my drop. Oh yeah, 285 weight starting off. No levels put into it. Oh, this thing's gonna be a beast. I waited around for him to grow up before saddling him up and heading out to find an explorer note for some quick levels. Having an imprinted PT this quick, very nice. Very nice indeed. After a few minutes of aimlessly flying around the mountain, I stumbled into the first note. There's a note right there. I didn't even know about this. I picked it up, then leveled weight and stamina, before continuing the search for that 4X note that I knew was somewhere up here on this mountain. There it is. Hey, isn't the Giga around here though? It's right there. I think it's stuck. I don't think it can get out. That being said, I flew back to the beach where I last saw that alpha Carno. I spotted it chilling in the forest and I landed for stamina before I could slowly start chipping away at its health. 96 damage per bite isn't terrible. Maybe it'll give me some good weapons too. Good hatchet, pickaxe, maybe even a gun. Oh, can I just sit on this rock and bite it? I can. It can't bite me. No way. Oh, do not run down towards my base. Okay, we can't be serious. Hold up. This cannot slide. My base is indeed thatch. Got it. Eat all that prime meat, dude. 32 levels. Holy. 15 levels on my character? Okay. Hold up. Oh, I need fortitude so I don't get knocked out. Yeah, fortitude will be important. If I get knocked out, I'm just straight cooked. I also leveled up my PT before flying back to base where a small family of Fiomios was beefing with my spiked walls. Whoa. What's going on here? I used its meat to heal my bird back up a little so I could go out and finally get a male Argie tamed. Okay, let's go get that male high-level Argie. This time I flew to the mountain near the center of the map as I didn't have much luck finding a good male at the other one. I'm freezing, I've got to be careful. It's pretty easy to forget that I'm playing hardcore, that I can't respawn. Anywho, I came up to a cluster of Argies fighting a few sabers and I could see a high level among them. There's a 145 Argie tangled up in there. Can't. Oh, it's a female though. And I need a male. Oh, okay. Well, that works. I really didn't want this male to join the fight down below, so I first got his attention so I could lead him away. I then parked the PT at a little ledge where I quickly assembled the trap so I could get the Argie inside. Alright, now let's go get this dude's attention again. As usual, I carefully led into the trap on the first try. You really lose aggro right there, man. Oh, yellow drop with a ring coming down? Alright, hold up. I gotta knock this guy out quick. I need to go open that drop. So you know by now, I definitely got the Argie in the trap on the first try. No, 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 no! I don't know, where do those doorways place? Got him. Okay. Come on, dude, just go to sleep. Yes. 25 points in the weight pre-tame and 31 in the melee. That's actually very good. With the Argie sleeping, I could fly down to that yellow drop with a ring and see the loot inside. Anky saddle, scuba tank. No, I don't really need that electric prod. I mean, the Anky saddle's nice. Kind of disappointing though, I won't lie. I flew over to a purple drop next, but I didn't get anything of value this time. It's a yellow drop on Carno Island. Screw it, I'll go for it. Inside this yellow drop, I found even more metal structures, some gasoline, and an overpriced sickle blueprint. Whoa, never making that. Not in this economy at least. Mid and disappointing drops aside, I flew back to base to store all the stuff into my smithy. I wanted to craft an Argie saddle straight away, but I did not have enough chitin or keratin, so I decided just to fly back and wait for the Argie to tame. Oh, blue drop with the ring? Hold up. This could have something good. Oh, good fur boots, cementing paste, narcotics, stimulants. These fur boots are great. You know, I always need to keep some fur and some ghillie on me to toss on, like there's a heat wave or I somehow end up towards the snow. Definitely could say my like right now. Oh yeah. I still had a bunch of prime meat left over from the Alpha Carno, so I grabbed some of that and then fed it to the Argie. It was, however, close to spoiling, so I picked up the trap and flew down to source some more prime meat from the locals. I then flew back and waited for it to wake up. Like that, Argie is tamed. 49 in the melee? That's crazy. 38. Wait, I think they have the same weight. Okay. 49 in the melee. That's awesome. Let's get this guy back to base now. I did see another blue drop on my way back down to the beach, so I just had to fly down and check it out. Oh, I got a toilet. Crystal, hide. I don't really need this stuff. It's actually pretty good. Getting blessed by these drops. Oh, purple drop with a ring. No way. I mean, nothing crazy. This, yeah, no, I'm never crafting that. That's not worth the metal at all. Anyways, I made it back home with the Argie, then sorted out my inventory, and I headed right back out to get some quick chitin as I really do need to make that Argie saddle. I think if I just find a scorpion or something, that'll be good. I did run into another blue drop on the mountain, so I snagged everything inside, but I got rid of it all shortly after as I didn't need any of the things that I got. That's a good trike saddle. I don't really ever tame trikes though. I'm not too far from the swamp. Could just fly over there. I know I'll find something made out of chitin. As I was flying over to said swamp, I noticed something quite uncanny in the lake down below. That is the biggest fish I have ever seen. Look at the size of this guy. Absolute unit. Holy. I gotta let that thing live. That thing is massive. Once I made it to the swamp, I found a swarm of Meganoras and killed one of them in hopes the rest would aggro me. I think they're all following me now. Nope, they're all running from me. Not really what I expected to happen, but I killed a couple more, waxed some of them up, and took off again to fly home. Now I should be able to pull for an Argie saddle. I saddled the male up and parked it next to the female so they could breed. Honestly, I just want this dude's baby. I waited for the first egg, and it actually started incubating on the beach without a need for any torches, so I just left it there to hatch. Nope, did not get the melee. Oh, it got a weight mutation though. What? Hold up. I mean, it's not worth it. So I waited for another egg to pop and hatch since I really wanted to get a good imprinted Argie. Ooh, red drop over there? Hold up. Let me get that. I think I can go and grab that before the Argie hatches. Ooh, you gotta be quick. Ooh, okay, that was a little bit risky. Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, we got some good flat gauntlets though. That's nice. Better armor I get, better, dude. Keep me alive. I made it back to base just as the egg was about to hatch, and this time the baby got all the good stats except the health. Okay, it's an Argie. Surely the health doesn't matter that much. Whatever, it doesn't take too long. I need a perfect one. Wait, how many points different is it? Yeah, 19 versus 32. That's a big difference. Never mind. There was a yellow drop coming down on Carno Island again, so I waited for egg number 3 to drop before flying out to get that. I don't really need a platform saddle. It doesn't do much for me. When I returned back to check on the egg, it was apparently too hot to incubate just as it was about to hatch. So I picked it up and threw it out near the water, but that didn't help either. Ain't no way. Come on. Okay. Well, I need it to be like 58 degrees. It's gonna be too hot. I don't know if this is gonna be possible. 0.8%, are you serious? At least the blue drop I opened hooked me up with a couple of artifact pedestals and a bunch of stone structures. When I got back home, I continued trying to throw out the egg somewhere just to hatch it real quick as it was literally on the verge of cracking. Underwater is 57 degrees. Really? Whatever, dude. I think I'm gonna have to wait until it becomes night again. In the meantime, I guess I'll just keep my Argies breeding so I get a collection of eggs. So I waited for another egg to be produced before throwing it in my preserving bin. Yeah, I'll repair my crossbow. In the meantime, it's probably good to go tame a Dodic. Large part of my base will be made out of stone. You know, you need to have a really good solid foundation. So let's fly around and go find a Dodic. I flew over to the Mountaineer base and I did a whole lap around but found nothing. And I am seriously struggling. I haven't even seen a single Dodic yet. I really just want to get an imprinted Argie before I do all this. It's getting colder. Maybe I'll be able to hatch up those Argie eggs. So I gave up on trying to look for any Argie and made it back home. See, it got colder. Colder, I can light fires. Boom. I don't think this guy's gonna have the stats, so let me just start incubating this one anyways. Yeah, this guy's bad. Yeah, Pego, come get me, dude. Come get me. While waiting for that egg to hatch, the Argies produced another one, so I brought it over there as well. Oh, come on, 236. Oh yeah, it has all the stats. Perfect. Welcome to the world, little nugget. That's what I'll call you. Actually, I think I gotta go with an old classic. Baby Chick. I made sure Chick was fed and waited around for the imprint. Thankfully, she only requested cooked fish meat, so I hopped on the Pteranodon and flew out to munch down some random coelacanth. Perfect. Let's cook up this meat for little Chick over here. Also, this campfire will be nice for some warmth this cold. Oh yeah, these stats look really good. All right, we're gonna wait for Miss Chick here to fully grow up, and then we're gonna go out and level her, get some explorer notes, kill an alpha Carno or two. I've seen a few of them. After that, we'll farm up for a little stronger starter base at the spot where I actually want to build my full complete mega base over in the mountains. So while we wait here for Chick to grow up, why not hit that like button if you're enjoying this video so far, and comment down below what you want to see me do next. Anywho, once she was all grown up, I saddled her up and flew out to get her a few levels. All right. This guy has almost 500 damage off the bat, and I have imprint. I should be doing pretty decent damage. Yeah, 160 a bite. Yeah, that's really good. Is there a no in these runes? Honestly, not sure. Surely there is. Oh yeah. After grabbing that no, I flew out to another that I knew of to get a bunch more levels really quickly. Also, I didn't want the XP buff to go to waste. So I flew out to the mountain where I had last seen that alpha Carno at and got to killing it. Shouldn't take too long to kill here. As much damage as I do, especially when it just acts like this. No! Oh, there's an ichthy. Not good. I gotta take care of that. Oh, you did not eat 59 narcotics. Oh my. Cannot be serious. Oh, annoying. I hate those things. Whatever, man. Let's just kill this Carno. Go home. Soon enough, the Carno dropped dead and my Argie got an extra 28 levels. I got her stamina up to 1700 and weight up to 3300 before taking off to fly back towards base. An Alpha Raptor, 55, might as well kill it. Come on, give me a good crossbow or something. Dead. Oh, it did give me a good crossbow. And metal tools? No way. Awesome. The damage on the crossbow wasn't anything crazy, but definitely a good upgrade from my primitive one. Same for the metal tools that I got as well. 5 more levels. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna need more than 1300 weight. We'll do melee. Oh, red drop. Holy dude, I'm getting blessed. Come on, give me my narcotics back. That is terrible. Anyways, I finally flew back to base and emptied out my inventory as it's time to start working on farming up my main base. Okay, now that I have these better tools, I think it's time that I farm up a better stone base that I'm gonna put in my permanent base location. Let's get to that. Okay, I've got everything for the shell of the new base crafted up, I believe. I've got a gate, walls, ceilings, doors and windows, and foundations. It's not gonna look pretty, but it doesn't need to. It's just gonna get me off the ground and to the point where I can farm resources where I can eventually expand it and actually make it look good. All right, let's head over and actually set it up right now. And then I'll come back, farm up some more forges, another smithy or two, maybe even a fabricator or something, and then we'll officially move into it. On that note, I flew out to the spot where I wanted to permanently settle, being in between the volcano and another mountain. Okay, so this is the location. If you don't know this place, it's between the volcano over there, this metal mountain. I believe it's called the Maw. It's just this giant sort of flattish grassland, and I've always thought that a huge base with huge walls would look super cool here. So yeah, let's get the foundation of this down, man. Let's start. As I've mentioned before, this area was not safe like at all. And before I could even get to building, I had to take out a small gang of Pteranodons. These Pteranodons could really mess me up. If I get bitten by one and I'm building and I knock out, I'm dead. Definitely leaving this guy on neutral. All right, so I'm gonna place my temporary starting base like sort of in the middle. I eventually want to build circular walls around this whole area. So let me try and find a good place that I want to be the exact middle. Okay, I think this area right here will do. Okay, we've got the full shell of the new base done. Doesn't look great at all, but it's gonna be really good starting off here. We're out by a ton more resources. Let's get some natural light in here. Now, I just had to get the inside furnished. So I flew out of there from the top hatch frame and I started heading back towards my thatch shack. Oh, there's an Anky right here. Oh, it's a 135. I'm gonna save it. I need to tame this. You know what? Let me go put it in the base. I'll just drop it in there. That'll be a safe place to tame it. And I can just stand up on the roof and shoot tranks down on it. I also had an ascendant saddle for an Anky back at home, so once this would tame, I could take it straight out for a metal run and feed my addiction. Drop the Anky right there. I didn't have enough tranks on me to knock it out just now, so I had to fly back regardless. A male 150, mine's a 135 female. Hold up, dude. I'll just bring this guy all the way back, and then I'll farm up narcotics, and then I'll bring it all the way back to the base I just built, drop it in there as well. And I can tame up a breeding pair and have my own imprinted Anky. Perfect. My luck did not end just there though. As I was flying back home, I stopped by a regular blue drop and inside I found an even better ascendant crossbow, another ascendant Anky saddle, and a decent iguanodon saddle. And I took it since I might have to tame one in the very near future for berry farming. Alright, I now need to tame something that can farm me up berries, or I could farm narco berries by hand, but do I really want to do that? No. Let's find either an iguanodon or a parasaur. I haven't tamed a parry yet. What am I doing? I found a couple of iguanodons in the jungle and both of them were level 55s, but it didn't really matter, so I snagged up one of them and brought it back to the beach to knock out. Oh, I definitely shot it while I was going down. Okay. Oh, there goes the taming effectiveness. Whatever, it doesn't need to be that good anyway. I picked a few bushes from mayo berries and fed the iguanodon. I also crafted up a second mortar and pestle to speed up the narcotic production. Once the iguanodon tamed, I named it Hector and I saddled it up to do some lawn mowing. Alright, Hector, you did your job. Thank you. Just get the rest of these narcotics crafted up. I turned most of said narcotics into trank arrows and I was pretty much ready to go tame both of the Ankies, so I snatched a male up and I flew back out to the mountains. Why is it negative 23 degrees? What? 25? Hold up. I've got my fur boots on, but this is ridiculous. Thankfully, the maw was not as cold, so I dropped the other Anky in as well before getting attacked by a Carno. No shot. Bad idea having these windows open, I guess. Okay, all the windows are shut. Let's go deal with this Carno. With peace restored on my property, I landed up on the roof and I got to tranking out the Yankees. Who knew my base would make the perfect taming trap? Once both of them were asleep, I flew down to feed them mayo berries. Okay, Ankies are knocked out and taming. Let's go back to base, and I should probably shut these guys in so nothing attacks them. We're gonna go back to base, farm up more forges, and then really move everything over here now. I might honestly have to make an expansion for the base already just to house my dinos. I don't really want to surround them with spike walls because there are some bigger dinos around here that would just get in and destroy them anyway. Or you know what? We could just make cryopods. As I was flying back home, I stopped by the usual blue drop and I got hooked up with some beaver tags as well as a few narcotics. Awesome drop. When I made it back home, I thought about how I would actually park all my dinos in my new base. I could probably make quarter ceilings or something to land them on. I think that might be my best bet. I'm really not trying to make an expansion already. Since they were going to be on the inside of the base, I decided just to make them out of wood. I could then start packing up my base into the Argie and I was ready to move out of here. But before heading over to the new base location, there was one more thing left to do, and that was to farm up a few extra forges for better metal production. Okay, I've got 10 forges now and the rest of my structures. So with this now, I think I can pick up my iguanodon and plus all my birds to follow me and we can officially move out. Thatch, starter shack, you've done me well. Let's go in here. Yeah, it's completely empty. Close up all the windows so we don't get any squatters moving in. This was a good base, that's for sure. Did its job very well. I picked up Hector and which would follow on the rest of the gang so we could fly over to the new spot. Oh, purple drop with a ring up there. Hold up, I gotta be quick loading my dinos in here. I need to go loot that. All right, let's load these guys in here quickly. After parking Hector, I placed one row of quarter ceilings on the wall and I landed the birds on top of that. With most of my tames inside, I hopped on a PT and flew out to get a purple drop. Need water as well. Oh, some fur, ghillie, better iguanodon saddle. Awesome, all right. Can't complain with that. Let me pick some berries to hold it over, get the rest of my tames loaded in. Oh, Hector's just through the door. With all my dinos now in the safety of my base, I could close the gate and head back out to hydrate. Now that I was no longer going unconscious from the lack of water, I could head back inside and start furnishing the interior. And surprisingly, all my tames fit pretty well in here. Okay, both of these Ankies are about to tame, which is nice. The first Anky tamed, so I peeped its stats, but honestly, it was nothing worth celebrating. 35 points in the melee, that's very average. Yeah, 48 in the oxygen. Like what? Perhaps the second Anky could clutch up and get good stats so I could get a strong imprinted offspring. Okay, so pretty bad. Yeah. Alright, let's try and set up this base somewhat decently. We're still going to be very tight on space. That's for sure. I saddled up both of the Ankies and moved my tames around to make space for my forges. Okay, we got 10 forges, which is pretty good. This isn't the prettiest thing ever, but I'm gonna be able to smelt a lot of metal. And let's breed up these Ankies, see if I can't get good melee stat first try around. I placed my smithy in the corner with a preserving bin right next to it. I also powered it up straight away and stored all my spoilables inside before placing my mortar and pestles down. And finally, I placed the campfire down in between the two forges in the corner. I need some storage boxes, man. Okay, Anky egg is too hot, so I'm probably gonna need air conditioners to actually hatch it up. Probably have to do a metal run without an imprinted one. It's whatever. First, let's get some storage boxes, put this stuff away, and we'll farm wood and do a big old metal run. So I flew up to the forest to kill a few locals and get their hide. I also dropped a couple of trees before flying back and crafting the storage boxes. Man, I need cryopods. There's just too many dinos in this base. I emptied out Chick's inventory, splitting all of my stuff between the smithy and storage boxes. Alright, we're somewhat settled in the base now. It's not looking too bad. Now I think it's time to farm up a bunch of wood and then a bunch of metal. We're just gonna need a lot of it. I'm just gonna use this Anky in the meantime until I get an imprinted one. First, let's go take care of that wood. I might honestly... Farming wood is honestly kind of terrible around here. There aren't really dense forests. Everything's kind of dispersed. So I think I'll just fly over to the redwoods, which I gotta be careful about because of Thylas. But the trees there give a lot more wood, and I should just be able to get my farming done a lot quicker. I landed my Argie close to a tree, and I got to smacking it. However, we got attacked almost straight away. Really? There's no shot. I bowled the pack leader of the raptors and loaded on my crossbow so I could drop it. Since it was boosted though, it ate through most of my shots and didn't even die in time. Die, dude. Oh my. I decided to leave Chick on passive after that scuffle so I could quickly hop on her and dip if we were ever attacked again. I did see a green drop coming down with a ring, so I flew over to investigate. Inside, I found some crystal, a bola, and a bunch of wooden structures that I quickly despawned. Okay, I've got a decent amount of wood here. This will fuel my forges for a little while, and I should have a little bit of extra just to make other stuff with. Let's go back, put this in the forges, and then do a metal run. Back at base, I distributed most of the wood into my forges and stored the rest away. Alright, with wood in the forges, let's go do a fat metal run. The good thing about living in between two good metal mountains was the fact that I didn't have to fly far at all before I could get to satisfying my addiction. Alright, as you can see, I farmed a buttload of metal. This should keep me stocked and supplied for a long time, I hope. Alright, let's get this sorted out into the forges and smelting. With the metal all sorted out, I lit all of my forges, which made the inside of my house super hot. So while all that was cooking, I headed back out to farm a few other essentials so I could keep progressing. I needed to make a fabricator soon too, so I could place air conditioners down and start hatching more eggs. I would also need to farm up a few cryopods, as getting more tames would mean even less real estate inside the base. Anywho, I flew out to the snow where I opened a very mid yellow drop. Pretty butt. Alright, there should be some pearls in this little riverbed right here. Let's snatch up these real quick. As I was minding my own business collecting pearls, I got spotted by a couple of savers, but I actually had my guard up, so I quickly pulled out my bolas and incapacitated both of the angry kitties. Good thing I have bolas on me. Should not have gone that far from my bird. Okay, I think this is about perfect time to leave. I got 125 pearls. That's really nothing crazy. I know there's more down here in this bay. Okay, hold up. Let me make sure there's nothing dangerous in the water here. There weren't any piranhas or other pests that would kill me on sight. However, there were also 0 pearls, so I got back on Chick and went out to get oil instead. Let's go get oil. I'm feeling mighty patriotic today. Might as well get a lot while I'm here. Doesn't seem to be really any threats around. I also grabbed some of the obsidian and the crystal that was around, since that would come in handy in the future too. Pearls right here. More the better. Alright, not a bad farm run at all right here. Let's head back to base. Swoop up this purple drop on the way back as well. Oh, good pistol? It could be good. Oh, and a Megatherium saddle. Awesome, dude. Yeah, not a bad drop at all. Once I made it back home, I stored all the resources in the smithy and crafted the fabricator. Probably place it down right here. Stuff is very tight in here. It's alright. I'll have a big base one day. To power the fabricator, I needed some gas, of course, so I threw a bit of oil and hide into one of my forges. I then started manufacturing the electronics so I could craft up a generator. Got the generator made. Where can I place this in this very crowded base? Man, I need cryopods real bad. I wanted to place them next to the fabricator where Hector was standing, but I couldn't get him out of there because he was stuck on the Anky, and the Anky was stuck on the storage boxes. So I had to use Chick to forcefully remove Hector from the corner, but I got it done so I could actually place the generator down. I then crafted 2 air conditioners and a few electronics for a cryo fridge. I also needed to make hard polymer for the cryopod, so I grabbed all of my paste and turned most of it into the poly. And while that was crafting, I loaded up the Argie with other resources. Polymer to craft, and I'll have everything for a cryo fridge and some cryopod. Probably trying to make it at the screen drop coming down over here. Maybe that would be safe. It was coming down on the side of the hill, so I clapped the only Argie in the area before getting down to it and starting the crafting process. 1 cryo fridge and 9 cryopods, please. Perfect. Is there really an alpha raptor outside my base? We cannot be serious. It's a 145. Alright, well, as long as I'm in here, it shouldn't be able to aggro me. Before I even placed the cryo fridge though, I cryoed up some of my tames so I no longer have to maneuver around the maze of creatures. Put my flyers that I actually use up here. Okay, awesome. That clears up so much space. Put the cryo fridge back here in this corner. Alright, let's place these air conditioners down. I want to try and hatch up this Anky egg. Before I could incubate the Anky egg though, I had to do a couple of things. First of which being getting a sip of water, as I was severely dehydrated. An alpha raptor's over there now. Oh, does that, wait, no, that's a 150. There's 2 different ones. Oh no, that's not good. Anyways, I needed to get a few berries for the baby Ankies, so I brought my farming Anky out to get those real quick. Yeah, this would be more than enough to raise babies. When I returned, I threw the egg out to hatch and cooked up a few narcotics. Once the baby popped out, I checked out its stats to see it got the good melee. So that meant that it does get to live, and I named it Hank. Oh, Hank, where are you going? Please want something normal for imprint, Hank. Since I had Hank growing up now, I took the Ascendant saddle off the other Anky and cryoed it up. Luckily, Hank only wanted a Tinterberry for imprint, so I fed him for the full imprint buff. Way better melee off rip. Awesome, this guy will be great for farming soon enough here. Next up on the tame list is definitely a Dodicarus. Gonna be building with a lot of stone on this base, it's just mandatory. I'm not farming stone with my hatchet, no way. My best bet would be to bring one back to base with Chick, however I didn't feel like flying around the map on her. So I went out with my Pteranodon instead to make actually finding the Dodic faster. Level 100? It's not that good, but like at the end of the day, it's a Dodic. They farm a lot of stone no matter what level they are. I think I might just go grab and tame that one. I can't really be bothered to look for another high level right now. That being said, I flew back to hop on Chick instead and went back out to grab that Dodic. You're coming with me. Oh, yellow drop with a ring out there. I'm gonna drop this dude in my base and go get that. I gotta get that. As long as I don't attack this guy. He shouldn't attack any of my other dinos and should just be chilling, wandering around my base, being safe. I parked Chick at base and switched over to my Pteranodon to go and get that yellow drop. That's a Dodic, right? That was 2 Dodics. Oh, they're both terrible. Anywho, I made it to the drop. I landed and waited for a second to make sure nothing was sprinting towards me with malicious intent before opening up the drop. Oh, good flak and fur. Perfect, dude. That's some crazy good flak. 800 armor. Back at base, I was ready to try and knock out the Dodic, but this time shooting it from above would be slightly tricky. I'm gonna try the same strategy I used with my Ankylos, just sit on top of my base and shoot down at it, but I really don't know how that's gonna go. You kinda need to shoot their heads, and their heads are really small compared to the rest of their body. Oh, okay, well that's just my bad aim. Thankfully, its AI got confused in the base. It climbed up to my quarter ceilings where it then proceeded to just look at the wall, making tranking it out a walk in the park. Oh, sweet, sleep. That was relatively easy, actually. I was all out of mayho berries again, so I had to pick up Hank and bring him outside to farm up a few more. After feeding the Dodic, I crafted a saddle for it and I waited around until it finished taming. So I've got my Dodic tamed up. Next, I want to make a chainsaw. It'll be good for farming wood, which I'm going to need a lot of. As anything past the fabricator stage, the chainsaw also required a bunch of polymer to craft, which of course I have none of. And to make hard polymer, I was also missing cementing paste. I'm gonna have to go rob some beaver dams, collect some mandatory taxes for the cementing paste. Hello, taxpayers. I am the IRS. Holy, that's a terrible beaver dam. Looks like one of the beavers has been evading his fair share of tax since there were no other dams in this pond. I've seen any other dams. I think I'm gonna have to fly around the rivers. Let's get this blue drop of the ring though first. I waited for it to land before peeping inside to find nothing but a ton of useless wooden structures. Holy, that's a terrible blue drop of the ring. So I flew around to other rivers as I really do need that beaver tax. I want that purple drop, but I am not getting that. Anyways, I looked around the river that separates the redwoods from the maw, but I didn't find any other dams, so I headed up to a purple drop before going back home. That? That's interesting. When I returned back home, I crafted a couple of bolas and I queued up a bunch of polymer. Okay, this will give me everything I need for a chainsaw. And I'm wanting to make the layout for the walls, the giant walls that are going to completely surround my base in a circular fashion. I'm wanting to make them in thatch just because building circles in arc are hard, and I'm really not wanting to farm all the stone just yet, especially when I'm probably going to be changing the design a few times. I'm definitely going to mess up the circle. Basically, I had to experiment a bit before I could get the final layout down. Before I could even start doing that though, I of course had to farm up the thatch foundations. And that's after I make the chainsaw, so I hopped on Chick and headed out. Okay, got my chainsaw. It's time to fly back over to the redwoods and do some crazy farming of thatch structures just to get the layout of this wall. I just did some testing in single player on another world and it's crazy. An Alpha Rex? Bruh. Anywho, I started crafting an ungodly amount of thatch ceilings while I continued farming up pillars. Yeah, man, I literally just gotta sit and wait for these to craft. I'm gonna be here for a while. Okay, I've got a bunch of my ceilings crafted up. I'm crafting a bunch more pillars. This should be a good start on the circle for now. When I got back home, I waited for the rest of the pillars to finish crafting, and I then split the remaining wood that I had between all of my forges. Alright, next up, I'm gonna need at least one behemoth gate because I want the walls to go up all the way to the top of the behemoth gate, and I know someone have a gate on each corner side of the circle, I should say, and I want the wall to be like the same height throughout, so like it'll go down into the dips and valleys, but the top of it will always be on one level. So I've got more farming to do if you couldn't have guessed. I grabbed my Dodic and brought him out on his first stone run, which of course he was very happy to help me with. Now, I did record this farming run before the Valguero 100 days that I just recently posted. So the Dodic and Anky were quote-unquote glitched, the same way that they were back on Valguero, meaning that they continued swinging at nodes even when they were fully encumbered. It was actually here that I discovered this glitch, or feature I should say, as you'll see later on. Oh wait, is he encumbering himself? Hold up. He keeps swinging even though he has way more. Like, he should stop swinging once he has full inventory. Oh, he encumbers himself. What? Okay, this has to be a glitch or something. This is not supposed to happen. But this is gonna make farming so easy. What? Man, I gotta farm as much as I can before this gets patched. I just farmed so much stone. Holy stone, man. I transferred a bunch of stone over to the smithy before hopping on Chick and heading out to farm all the wood and thatch for those behemoth gates as well. Megatherium got the bug buff over there. Okay, probably time for me to go then. On that note, I flew back to base and loaded up the smithy with all the farms so I could craft one of those gates up. Yeah, that's all I need for right now. Before getting back to work on actually laying down the giant circle, I crafted up another 80 thatch foundations. Okay, so I've got all my thatch structures to hopefully try and make the whole circular layout. Really? This guy's gonna ruin my plans. Of course it's the 145. Whether I liked it or not, I had to take the Alpha Raptor down as there was no way that it would leave me alone while I would build. So I hovered over the pest with Chick and I slowly chipped away at his health until it dropped dead to the floor. Finally, man. At the very least, I got rewarded with a slightly better apprentice pickaxe. Okay, anyway, let's start construction of this massive, massive project. Now, I just had to set the behemoth gate down at the tallest vertical point, and while looking for that, I somehow angered a nearby fairy, but thankfully it was only a level 55. So I made quick work of it, as well as this wild Argie that challenged me to a dogfight. Bro, are we? Can't wait till I have these walls up, that's for sure. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is first take out this stylo and get to the center here. Place the behemoth gate. Now I could bring a couple of pillars out to each side where they would line up with the sides of the behemoth gate, so I could then build them up to reach the same height as the gate. Alright, now we're gonna bring these pillars up all the way to the height of the behemoth gate, and then we're gonna bring it up one more. And then we're gonna place ceilings on top like so. Okay, and now this will be the highest the wall will get, so the wall is gonna be even taller than a behemoth gate. But now I've gotta build the circular thing all the way around. So let me just confirm this is 10 ceilings. I am using like a circle generator typically used for Minecraft, but it'll work the same in Ark, just with foundations. After counting up the ceilings, I got to actually laying out the whole circle around my base. Okay, so you can see how it's coming along. I'm gonna need so many more thatch pillars. I already know. I am liking how it's looking already. I mean, it's literally just the thatch outline. Like, I'm gonna convert it to stone and wood later on, but I just need to know the general shape before I farm up all of those resources. Now this is where it starts to bend going to the other way. As I was running low on thatch pillars, I stopped the construction work for a minute to go out and farm up a bunch of fiber. I did this so I could actually craft the pillars while I continued building. Okay, so this is officially a quarter of the circle done. This took over half an hour. I mean, this is gonna look so cool, but this is so difficult to build. Why did I choose to do this? Alright, I'm pretty much out of thatch pillars now. I've got to go farm a lot more. I'm just about done and I'm out of stamina. Nice. That being said, I had to go out to the redwoods once again and farm up an unholy amount of resources to craft an equally insane amount of pillars. Alright, I have over 300 thatch pillars crafting. Surely this is enough. There was only one way to find out though, and that was to continue building the circle. Okay, well, I've done half of it now, officially. I didn't mess it up, which is good. Man, this thing is huge. This is gonna take so long to fill in. I think I've been at it for just over an hour now. I'd say I don't think I'm really getting much quicker because I kind of knew what I was doing from the start, but man, this is gonna be such a cool base once it's done. I just wish I could cut to when it was done. Fortunately for you guys, we have something called the power of editing, so we can do exactly that. Cut to it when it's done. Okay, man, finally, I finished it. This is literally just the outline of where the walls are gonna be, but it is a perfect circle. I somehow didn't mess it up, which is very nice, actually. This is pretty impressive to look at. It's gonna look great when all the walls are filled in, but I can't place or craft another structure, man. I need a break. Holy. As I returned back to base, I did see a red drop coming down in the distance, so I hopped on PT and flew out to go get it. Riot boots, metal stuff. I mean, nothing crazy. Alright, with the outline made, I want to work on getting like part of the walls down at least so it is fully sealed off. Like, it's not going to look super pretty, but I do want it sealed off so I don't have raptors in my base, for example. But I plan to do that with wood. My chainsaw is good and all, but not that good. Anyway, so I want to tame a theory. That'll make farming wood just a lot better and easier. And I want to tame a good theory at that. I first had to prepare a few things though. One of those being the actual trap. I did have a few metal structures that I found in another drop, so I grabbed those and crafted up one more foundation for the full trap. As for the narcotics, I found a bunch just chilling in my storage box. So I grabbed those as well as some spoiled meat, and I cooked up as much as I could with the leftover narco berries that I had in my preserving bin. I like to make some canteens to hold water on me. I'm gonna go farm some obsidian real quick while these narcotics are crafting, just for some quick polymer. The volcano was pretty close by, so I flew up to the first few batches of obsidian nodes that I could find along the path. I then smacked them all up before heading back down the craft of polymer and canteens. Alright, let's go find and tame a high-level theory. Theories spawn basically anywhere around in the jungles, but they were pretty common towards the green obelisk, so I headed over there to do my scouting. Man, I thought this mod was supposed to make dino levels higher. I've seen like 3 level 20 theories back to back. Man, 4 theory, all level 20. What is up? While I was looking around, I stopped by a green drop with a ring, but didn't find anything interesting inside. After a long and tedious search, I finally spotted the perfect theory, a level 150 hiding out in the forest. Oh, no shot. Just as I'm starting to give up hope. Okay, hold up. I did see an alpha raptor over here though, which kind of makes me scared. It was only a level 25, so I got to work on killing it with the PT. Finally. With the raptor threat taken care of, I flew back to the theory and I looked around the general area before setting up my trap. Got titanoboas all around. Yeah, I do not want to trap it down here. I think one bite from the titanoboa and I'm sent straight to sleep. I'll put it like way up here. I can lead it up here, surely. Okay, now let's go get the theory. I politely introduced myself and I made it chase me all the way up the hill while also tanking a couple of smacks. And this thing hits pretty hard. I wonder if it has a good melee stat. Got it. And it's out. Theories do like to snooze for a long time while taming though, so I fed it the mayho berries that I had on me and picked up a few more bushes around the trap to get some more. Oh, it's gonna take so long to tame. I also had to do a quick double left hook on a tree and get a bit of stone so I could repair one of the stone foundations that got damaged in the process. Now, I really do need a theory with stats like these, so I don't want to risk any chance of it getting hit by anything. So I quickly farmed up a few spike walls and I fully surrounded the tickle chicken. And of course, I left some extra space inside for me to actually land in. Okay, we've got the theory fully spiked off, so it'll be safe. Definitely got some time to kill while it tames though, that's for sure. I will have to keep coming back and feeding it narcotics. As I was flying back home, I was fortunate enough to spot a small beaver dam in the river below me, so I pulled up to collect the mandatory tax inside. Back at base, I sorted out my inventory before picking up Hank to do a little bit of lawn mowing outside. I then cooked up another small batch of narcotics and I flew up on Chick to get a bird's eye view of my whole base. I also did see a few uninvited guests on my property that I would eventually have to take care of. Mainly this dilo that for some reason could not stop harassing a balled up Dodic. Anyways, as the narcotics finished crafting, I hopped on my Pteranodon and flew back out to check on that theory. Since these chickens wake up so fast, I kinda just stood around babysitting it to make sure that it wouldn't wake up. I also had to deal with a few guests, I guess. Dude, bro better not be ruining my taming effectiveness. With that taken care of, I waited patiently until it finally tamed so I could take a look at its stats. Please be good stats. 49 points in the melee, 42 health. Oh, amazing stats, dude. See, I'm gonna use this to farm wood, but this is also definitely gonna be a boss theory, or breeder theory later on. Awesome, let's get back to base. Now, when I got back to base, I logged off this arc as that's when Valguero came out, and I just had to go record that video immediately, as you know. So when I actually got back, I was a bit lost on progress here. Hey, it's been about a few weeks since I last played this. I completely forget what I was doing and where I'm at. Let me just take a flight out here real quick. Okay, I remember now. I built this entire layout and I tamed a good theory for wood, I believe. I threw the theory out inside to check out its stats again and I renamed it to health and its melee stat. I know I can see its points, but it's still nice to name it just to know. So over the past few weeks, I actually learned that I was misinformed. What I thought to be a glitch where a Dodic and Anky just auto swing when you carry them, even when they get encumbered. It's not a glitch. It's actually a feature they added just to make solo farming easier, which is very, very nice. So this definitely will make farming a lot easier for me. Okay, so now what I want to do next on the walls here is completely actually fill them in with just wood walls, bring them all the way down to the floor. And it's not going to look crazy good, but once it is fully circled in and filled out, I'll then go back and add extra details like stone, probably add some more pillars to make it look good, railings and all that fancy stuff. Now I would obviously be using the large wooden walls to fill in the circle, but obviously I'm gonna need to farm up a ton of wood and thatch for that. And since this area that I live in is not the richest in terms of trees, I decided that I would actually set up an outpost somewhere, either in the redwoods or the swamp. So I first crafted up all the essentials for an outpost, those being foundations, walls, ceilings, a dino gate, doors, and windows. Let's make a Theory settle, and then I'm also gonna need another generator and cryo fridge, I guess, so I can deploy the cryos out there. Here you go, there's a Theory saddle. Let's turn this on, make up another generator. Lastly, I crafted hard polymer for the cryo fridge and grabbed some gas from my main Jenny, and I headed out to find a drop. I think I'm gonna go out to the swamp. You can just farm so much wood out there, and I'll be on the back of a Theory, so I'm not too worried about anything actually killing me. I don't know, maybe I'll go on to regret this decision though. There was a blue drop landing down in the redwoods, so I flew over to that so I could craft my cryo fridge. Oh, we gotta get sickle. What's getting attacked? Hairbirds. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's head up to the swamp now. Okay, here we have the swamp with, as you can see, a lot of trees. And an alpha raptor apparently. Oh, 145, jeez, okay. So I think I'll set up the outpost base just over here on the edge of the swamp. This field looks all right, somewhat safe. All right, let's set up this outpost base here. Okay, here we go. Large wood walls. Luckily, they only take 40 thatch per, which is not a lot at all. Which is really nice, actually. My biggest, issue is farming thatch. I mean, it's fine. I can get it done relatively quickly, but nothing compared to what I can do farming with a dino, obviously. Because I'm just farming by hand here, as you can see. It's whatever, though. It's not that bad. By the time that I farmed up all the thatch, the cryo fridge's timer expired, so I threw out the Theory, saddled it up, and I first gathered a bunch of fiber. I then ran back to Chick to grab the thatch and wood to start crafting. There's an alpha raptor. Of course that's the 145. Surely I can kill it. Alright, this could be a very bad idea. I could lose this great Theory. It took a solid minute, but with the help of Chick, we clapped the alpha raptor. Is it running? Got it. Yeah, there we go. That kill gave my Theory a ton of levels, so I pumped them in the melee and wait to speed up the farming even more. Yeah, there we go. That's 100 walls and they weigh 1,600 pounds. Man, that's a lot. For reference, that's almost as much as your mom. My Argie could still carry a bit more though, so I farmed up another 54 before parking my Theory at the outpost and getting ready to leave. Okay, so I farmed 154 large wooden walls here and my Argie is already very heavy. So I'm gonna fly back to base, place these all down and see how much progress that actually gets me. But I've got a feeling this is not gonna be anywhere near enough. Oh, male 140 Theory. I should probably tame that next time I come out here. When I arrived back in my base, I wasted no time at all in starting to place all the large wooden walls down. Okay, so as you can see, I placed pretty much all of my walls down. What was that? Just over 150. And I nearly completed 1/4 of it. I'm missing like 2 walls right there, and then a behemoth gate will go there and on that side over there. But I didn't even get the back done. Like, it was just the outside. That's all I was able to place. And I would be lying if I said that these walls were easy to place on the back of the Argie. It took me longer to place the walls than it did to actually farm them up. So to finish the whole circle, from the outside at least, I would still need somewhere around 500 more large walls. This is gonna take a while, meaning there's still a whole lot of farming ahead of me. I soon found myself whacking away at trees with my pickaxe again for thatch. And I then started flying back to my outpost, but on the way I stopped by a blue drop that was full of wooden structures. I only grabbed the behemoth gate and the walls though, as I didn't need the rest. Anywho, I got back out to the outpost, so I hopped on the Theory and the mass deforestation continued. I know the Team Trees hates to see me coming. I'm taking this thing down. Okay, I farmed all the large wooden walls I need. I've got more back at my outpost. Now let's just farm singular ones to fill in the gaps. I farmed up about 150 of those before flying back to base to transfer all the wooden structures into one of my boxes. I had to do a total of 3 trips back and forth before I had all the walls transferred, and I can continue building up the circle. Okay, I've finally got all my wood walls back to base. Now I've got to go through the pain of actually placing them down. But you all get to watch that in probably a minute montage, I would say. Anyway, I'm gonna get to building. Okay, so I'm pretty much done placing all of these larger walls down. I've placed them pretty much everywhere where it actually makes sense to. Maybe I need to place some more down there. I'm gonna grab some of these singular wooden walls down here, and let's continue filling everything in. Okay, so I finally finished placing down most of the wood walls. Now obviously I've got gaps on each side, but these are where the behemoth gates are going to go, so I'd like to place those down. Gotta craft a few more, so I'll have it fully blocked off. Now this is nowhere near completion. Still need to add a lot more details to make it look better, but this does look pretty cool so far, I'm not gonna lie. I still had plenty of stone left in my Dodic, so I threw the Theory out to go farm the wood needed for the behemoth gates. To get the thatch, I repaired my pickaxe and flew out to the redwoods, as the trees there just give a ton of it. When I returned, I put it all into the smithy and crafted up the rest of the gates. I crafted a few wooden ceilings as I'd be needing those. I then snapped the first behemoth gate to the couple of foundations that I had as markers for the circle. It was at the second entrance that I had to use those wood ceilings since the ground was at a lower altitude, and I wanted all the gates to be on the same horizontal level. So what I did was I counted the amount of pillars from the top and then placed a ceiling at the behemoth gate down below to see if it was level. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so 9 walls down. From here, I simply extended a small ceiling platform towards the middle of the opening so I could snap down the behemoth gate to it properly. Okay, yeah, looks good. So this is very cursed right now, but yeah, we're gonna build ramps and stuff. The whole wall was still very far from done, but I wanted to get the gates down now to actually have a sealed off base as soon as possible. So that being said, I repeated the cursed procedure at the other 2 entrances as well. There we go. Okay, awesome. We've got all the gates down now. Obviously, I need to fill in the walls and build ramps, but I like that they're all symmetrical and on the same level. I think it'll just look best, probably from the outside. I actually had to readjust the ceilings and rebuild them from the inside on each of the 4 gates, but once that was done, I could start working on the ramps. Okay, so now I'm wanting to actually add the stone elements to the wall, but before I go mass farm anything, I do need to actually experiment and see what I want to do, see what looks good and what doesn't. So I can farm up a few stone structures just around here. There's a bunch of stone, but there's just not that much wood, which is annoying. That being said, I picked up the Dodic and I made him do a little bit of overtime, smacking up the few rocks inside base. I then hopped on the Theory and I ran out to drop a few trees, as well as a couple Argies that decided to mess with me. Once I had a decent amount of wood farmed up, I ran back to craft up a few stone ceilings and ramps, which I could then experiment with at one of the gates. I might be cooking here. Hell, do I like this? I feel like I could go with something simpler here and just put pillars on the corners of the wall. I don't know, I do kind of like it. The idea looked promising, so I crafted up even more stone ceilings, pillars, and quarter ceilings so I could expand on it and see what it would look like by the time it's properly built up. Whoa, what's going on in here? I did get slightly interrupted by a couple of raptors that dared to disturb me on my own property, so I whistled my Theory to make quick work of them before getting back to cooking. Okay, yeah, I do like this better. I think we're gonna roll with this design. I was pretty happy with how it already looked, so now I just had to build it all around the circle, meaning more mass crafting and farming. Alright, got a lot of farming ahead of me. For now, I wanted to fully build up one of the quarters of the circle so I could see the final result. I kept crafting the stone pillars and ceilings while flying back out to place them down. Okay, now I just need to place the walls down connecting to the ground. I'm liking how this is looking. I'm just gonna like completely finish this quarter side first, and then I can just, you know, copy and paste on all the other sides. I just want to get the design that I really like down. As usual, I ran out of thatch first, so I hopped back on Chick, and of course we went back out to the redwoods to stock up. Okay, surely this is enough thatch. I've got a lot. Back at the crib, I crafted up a bunch of stone walls to finally finish the stone outer layer of the circle on the first quarter, that is. So I finished off the stone like outer layer, I guess I'd say. This looks really good. I'm really liking this. So I think now all that I really want to do to it is go up here and add railings up top, and then I think this quarter side is done. I'll just have to see how it looks. After packing up yet another trespasser, I crafted up the wooden ceilings and I flew to the top to place them down. Once that was done, I made all the railings as well, and that concluded the first quarter. Okay, all the railings are in. Now let's take a step back and look at this. Yeah, okay, this looks really good. I'm liking this design a lot. I think this looks great. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so now that I like this, it's time to do this on the 3 other sides. Holy, this is gonna be so much work. But luckily for you guys, you don't have to sit through the inhumane amounts of farming, crafting, and building that I'm about to undertake. Instead, you simply get to watch this quick little montage. Okay, there we go. We finally got all the stone walls. Now it's just pillars and quarter ceilings. That took probably 3 hours. That was terrible. Now let's get these pillars down. Finally, oh, I'm done with the stone, man. Oh, dude, some starter base this is. Nah, this is my mega endgame base, dude. Okay, I've done the stone on all 4 sides. So now I've just got to add some wooden ceilings in and do the railings around the top, and then obviously the gates on each side. But this does look really good. I definitely like the way this looks. Now it was time to do the simple part. Craft a reasonable amount of wooden ceilings and place those down on the edges of the inner circle, then place railings around the whole thing. Once I had all the railings down, I could then move on to the gates. I started off by making stone ceilings and replacing the wooden ones that I had originally placed. I then made a ton of stone stairs and I began placing those down from where the gates would sit. After replicating these stairs at the other gates both inside and out, I could also fill in the gap between the top of the behemoth gate and the circle. I did this by simply placing wooden walls across which lined up perfectly with the gates at the top. Now, I still had to figure out what I wanted to do with the side of the stairs leading down from the gates, as those were still wide open. Yeah, somehow 3 whole behemoth gates just got deleted from me picking that one stone wall up. Don't ask me how, cause I don't know. Anyways, the design I actually ended up going for was this sort of staircase made out of walls and ceilings closely following the actual stairs. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I've got that behemoth gate over there, and then there's supposed to be 2 over there, right? And then I've got this one here. However, I've come to the realization that whenever I use this pickup gun and pick up something with it, it just, the gates just destroy themselves, and I have no idea why. Let me see if I try picking up the stair. Yeah, it just picks up the gate. Like, what? I'm like, I don't really know what's up with that. Because I want to use the pickup gun, obviously. I'm wondering if it's thinking there's not enough foundation support. I'm not totally sure. I guess I'll just try and avoid using the pickup gun for as long as I can, and I'll come to another solution later. But whatever, man. I gotta farm up 2 more gates. But the walls are coming along very, very nicely. See, they look super good from outside. Obviously, they just need their gate and ramps. But after that, man, they're pretty much done. I don't really feel like I need to do much of the interior walls. Yeah, should be all good with the wall part at least. Then I can actually finally get to building my base. Man, this has been a lot of work. That being said, I grabbed my Dodic again and farmed up a bunch of stone outside before going back in to replace the stair that I picked up. I also tried to grab it without using the use of the pickup gun, and it ended up picking up the gate either way. Oh, it's anytime I pick up anything. That's not good. Oh, what? That's not good at all. What? That's so annoying. I'm gonna have to pick up stuff in Ark. What if I add more pillars? Will that work? Let's place the gate back how I want it, and then I'll pick up one of these stairs. Oh, that fixed it. Okay, I'll pick up another stair in here. Okay, sweet. Okay, it just needed more foundation support. So I don't know why it lets me place it, but then it has that weird pickup glitch. Okay. Back to farming so I can finish this up. I placed those pillars down under my other gates as well before running back inside to repair my pickaxe, as it was time for another thatch run. For that, of course, I flew out to the redwoods, but this time I didn't notice the danger that was about to make my day go from 0 to 100. Woohoo, Tronons! No. Oh, I'm dead, dude. Oh, I'm dead. The Tronons quickly broke my armor, and I was just a few seconds away from being sent to sleep, so I stabbed them as many times as I could with my pike before hitting the inevitable nap. Argie, help me. My armor's broke, dude. Kill it! You gotta kill it, dude. Oh, what? Oh, it killed it. Oh, dude, I'm like basically naked, knocked out in the redwoods. What is knocking down trees? Please just wake up, man. Please. By some absolute miracle, I woke up from my slumber unharmed. So I immediately jumped on Chick and flew back home to repair my armor. When I returned, I made sure to stay a bit more vigilant on my surroundings, as this still is hardcore, meaning if I die, all of what I've been working towards is just gone forever. And in Ark, it's very common to be healthy one moment, and the next thing you know, you're in the grasp of certain death. Anyways, after getting up all the thatch, I flew back to base and hopped on my ferry to continue my deforestation duty around the mob. I then crafted up a bunch of stone ceilings so I could finally finish the outside of the stairs. I also grabbed a few large wooden walls to place down on the inside of the gate, before flying out to finish the ramps on the other gates as well. Okay, finished all the stairs, now let's refarm these behemoth gates for like the millionth time. That's what it feels like, at least. I ran out to mow a few trees down with a ferry and then brought all the farm back to my smithy to craft a couple of missing gates. Okay, there we go, here are my gates. I also went out to place a few remaining stone walls and ceilings around the gates that still had openings in them. Okay, there we go, finally, man. The exteriors of the wall, the whole thing is done. Let's take a lap around, admire its beauty. I am very happy with this. This looks super good. Yeah, this base looks amazing, and I haven't even really built anything super notable in the middle of it yet. I'm super excited for this though. Okay, so as I marked before I built any of the walls here, this is the direct center of the circle. So I want to build my main base in here and have it sort of a big tower that goes all the way up, and then smaller structures surrounding it for like crafting, smelting, all that stuff, and then maybe even a hatchery. Well, definitely a hatchery. But obviously that's going to require a lot more building. For the space in the middle right here, I'm definitely going to need ceilings and pillars because the terrain is quite uneven, as you can see. So let me craft up some of those. Before I could get to that though, I wanted to get sort of a stockpile of storage boxes going where I could keep a bunch of resources at. So I flew out on the Argie and I quickly farmed up a few large storage boxes, which I then lined up outside. So this temporary base that I set up here is actually going to get in the way of the base that I'm gonna build, obviously, so I need to take this thing down real quick. But first, I've got to transfer everything out into the storage boxes. I didn't really care about staying organized right now though, so I just grabbed everything I owned and threw it into those new storage boxes outside. We'll set up another temporary base just back here behind these boxes. these forges also have a bunch of unsmelted metal that I just never got. I need to just pick up these forges and then put them back down over here on the temporary base. Since my temporary base consisted of just 3 foundations, I was only able to line up 3 forges. Nevertheless though, I loaded them up with metal and wood from the rest and I fired them all up again. Okay, so I've moved everything out of the base here, now let's just pick it all up. Once it was fully packed up, I stored it away in one of the boxes and expanded my storage just by a few more. There we go, there's the temporary base all set up. Pretty scuffed, but you know, whatever, we're gonna build a huge base right here. First, I've got to do some farming, man. I wanted to stock up on wood first, so I ran outside to drop a few trees with the theory. Okay, now let's go get thatch. As usual, I flew out to the not so safe redwoods where I had to take on a whole gang of pegos before I could get to my farming. Okay, I'm back at base with all these resources. Okay, so now let's set up the ginormous foundation for my main base here. Gonna have to do that with pillars and ceilings. But first, I've got to farm stone as normal. I crafted up a bunch of stone ceilings and thatch pillars as support, so I ran over to the middle of the base and got to work on the platform. Okay, so I've got the 8x8 foundation laid out right here, and now I want to bring 2 more ceilings off on each side here, and these are kind of just going to be like little extensions that are just going to add some depth. And then in the middle on each side, I'm going to have like a gateway entrance type thing into the main room. Okay, now let's add walls around the outside so it looks like a foundation actually connected to the ground. Okay, there we go. That's the foundation done. I just left some holes here because I'll either have extensions or just ramps up into the base over here. Now it's finally time to start cooking on the actual main base. Okay, so as you can see here, I've kind of got this tower design going, and I think I'll make it like, I don't know, maybe another 4 to 6 tall, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll go even taller. And then at the top, I want to have like a giant aviary where I land all my flyers. I think that'll just look super sick, and I'll have like an open design so you can fly right in. I did make it even taller by adding another row of large walls, and it was up here that I plan on having that aviary. Okay, now I'm gonna place these singular walls like so, and then this is where the like aviary platform where I'm gonna land all my flyers will be. Okay, here we go. The tower is coming along quite nicely. So we've got this giant section here where there's just like a ton of wood. I think I want to add like a pillar through the middle of stone just to kind of break it up. It's looking a bit like too flat right now, I'd say. After so much farming, crafting, and building, even my Dodic was burned out, and he straight up refused to smack another rock. Yo, why my Dodic not farming for me anymore? What? But this behemoth of a build just had to be completed, so I crafted the rest of the walls and placed them to finish those stone pillars. Okay, dude, this tower is looking sick, I won't lie. Okay, I need to make more walls, and then we're gonna expand the platform up top here. I crafted more large stone walls and placed them down on top of the tower, making it even taller. Okay, adding the big landing platform right now. I'll land a bunch of flyers Okay, so this platform, I've got it to the size that I like. Now, it looks weird. This ceiling just being out like that, it looks like it needs to be more structurally supported. So I think I need to add another layer and then walls right now connecting it to the tower. A bit of farming and crafting later, I came to the conclusion that quarter walls would work even better. So I placed one of them hanging down from the platform and I got to snapping all the ceilings onto it as well. Then once I had all those down, I placed down the rest of the quarter walls all around the platform. Okay, there we go. Oh, hold up. Actual war zone going in on my base right now. Okay, here we go. The platform's finally done. You can see it's kind of thicked it out. Looks a little bit better. Now I just need to add a little roof, and then I think the tower is just about done. Got to add some windows and stuff, but this thing looks amazing. Really happy with this. Now onto the roof though. I crafted up a bunch of stone ceilings and walls before getting to work on that. I wanted the shape of it to kind of resemble the foundation at the bottom, so I used a lot of ramps as well. Of course, there were still a few minor details that I had to add, like railings and windows. Okay, as you can see here, I've done a lot of details on the base here. I wouldn't say a lot, but we've got some railings up, which look better. We've got most of the windows put in, not all of them. And then I've also done the roof here, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm a fan of it. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like it could be better, but I don't really know how to make it better. So I think I might just leave it for now, but we've got a huge platform here for flyers, which is really nice, and then this just leads all the way down to the bottom and base. I'll probably put a ladder here soon, and then I need to get some railings around the outside here. Let's do that real quick. The railings all around the platform made it look a lot better as well as a little safer, so overall it's a nice touch. The main center build, or center base I should say, is pretty much done here. So the next thing I want to build is definitely going to be smaller, but that's going to be the forge house. As you all know, I have a very big metal farming addiction, and I want to build a giant smelting or blacksmith house, I guess you could say, with 2 industrial forges. That's right, 2. So I think I'm going to build it off over here, and we'll be able to fit 2 indie forges in it. So let me just lay out the foundation for that real quick. Just as the main base, I had to place the core or the foundation of this build on pillars and ceilings due to the uneven terrain. So after I picked up the thatch foundations connected to the main base, I brought a snap point out towards the side. Okay, so here we got the foundation outline. I'm gonna do like stone walls up in here, and then we'll do wooden walls along here, and then I'll be able to fit a forge here, and then here I'll have like a trap door above so I can drop in my Anky super easily. But yeah, this should look good, but as normal, I got to go farm more resources to keep building. A little bit of overtime for the Dodic later, I crafted a few large stone walls and I placed them down on the corners of the foundation. Next up, the dino gates. Okay, I'm gonna place these gates just here because these will be where the forges actually go, but it'd be nice to be able to access them from the outside if need be. Thing is, I can't really get a snap point, which is kind of annoying. I used my inner Bob the Builder to get the gates perfectly centered on both sides. So the next step was to make the whole build slightly taller. I used a few regular stone walls to add 1 layer to it before getting to work on the wooden bits as well. I did add a second layer of stone walls to the top just so the wooden sides wouldn't go up to the same height once I actually placed the large walls down. Alright, now we'll place the wooden ceilings up here. These are 5 walls high. I'm pretty sure that's enough to fit an indie forge in. Oh, there goes my ankles. And then I'll place a giant trapdoor like that so I can drop my Anky in. Awesome. Okay, so now I need a bunch of quarter walls, wood and stone, to fill these giant gaps in. There was a slight issue with the wooden quarter walls as the sides of them didn't connect to the full walls, meaning there was slight gaps between them. But I decided to ignore that fact and let all the people with OCD watching this suffer. Okay, I need 80 stone quarter walls. One detail I left out to now were the stairs leading up to the dino gates, so I placed those down as well. Next up, the roof. I flew up with the Argie and then pressed E to dismount, which instead opened the big trap door. But when I did actually hop off the Argie, I was sent straight down to the ground to break my other ankle too. Oh, bruh. Anyways, I started placing a few stone walls down on the corners, and the side with the hatch frame turned out to be a little imperfect. Okay, so this pillar does kind of clip into the hatch frame, but it's whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's still got enough room for the Anky. Sorry to all the people with OCD once again. Back to the foundation of the whole build though. I still had to place all the walls in it to make it look a little more like a solid structure, so I got to work on that. Okay, this is coming along very nicely. Okay, I definitely need to just add some ceilings and then railings, and then I think I'll run some pillars just to give it a little bit more depth, but yeah, I'm really liking this. As for the pillars, I couldn't actually get them to snap properly, most likely due to the fact that I used large walls in combination with quarter ones. Alright, whatever, I guess I'm not adding pillars. Okay, well now it's time to actually farm up the 2 industrial forges, which I'm really gonna need a lot of resources for. Since the main base was all done, I could slowly start moving into it. So I started that off by picking up my generator and cryo fridge and then placing that inside. I then shortly followed that up with the fabricator, which I loaded up with a bunch of ingots straight away since my 3 forges were cooking that whole time that I was building. Okay, so this is basically all of my metal, and I have just enough for 2 forges, so now I just need the paste, crystal, oil, and polymer. Looking into my storage boxes, I still had a little bit of crystal, oil, and paste, but I would still have to do a decent amount of farming for the rest. Alright, first, I think we'll go get paste. I crafted up a new set of bolas since I was all out of those, and I made myself a shovel since I had an ascendant treasure map that I got for killing something while I was out farming. The location of the treasure itself was pretty far, but I was obviously curious about what was inside the chest. So I hopped on the Pteranodon and flew all the way out there. Hey, here we go, I've arrived at the treasure map site. Let's dig it up. Some good bright boots, assault rifle. I don't think I'll really ever use that. They're kind of useless. Alright, let's go collect tax. Flying around the southern lakes and rivers, I could see beavers here, but there were no dams in sight. Flying back up north, I opened up a blue drop, and inside I found a mastercraft for a chest piece and some trinks. I already had a better ascendant for a chest, but I still grabbed this one as replacements could come in handy at some point. You see, I'm finding a lot of beavers, but I'm not finding their dams as much. I say that I haven't found any dams. It's been a really long time since I've gone around and looted them, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Oh, here we go, finally. And I need a lot more paste than that, man. Luckily, there was another one, but it had even less paste. The beavers really seem to be lacking on paying their taxes recently, so I had to change plans. Okay, well, I was only able to find 2 dams. That's not good. I think I'm gonna have to craft cementing paste, which is never fun. I flew back home to check on the progress with the 2 indie forges, and I had a decent 968 out of 1200 total paste that I needed. I guess I'll just wait around. Hopefully I can have some more beaver dams spawn in. In the meantime, I'll farm the crystal, the oil, and the polymer. Let me move some of these storage boxes inside the base here. I emptied out Chick's inventory into the storage boxes before crafting up a few clubs, so that I can conduct business with our northern friends at the penguins. Come on, Hank, we got work to do. I first stopped by the volcano though, as it was very rich in crystal. Oh, there's a giga in the floor. Hold up, I think it's dying. It's very low on health. Just want to get my crystal and leave, dude. That's all I want. I smacked up most of the nodes in this cluster, which gave me plenty of crystals, so I pieced out of there before that giga could figure out how to get out of the mesh. Flying up north, I stopped by a purple drop, which I then proceeded to describe perfectly. Terrible. There was then a second yellow drop down the hill too. Surely this one would redeem the reputation, right? Yeah, it was pretty buns as well. Anyways, I flew down to farm the oil, and I also grabbed a few silica pearls that I found, since those would definitely come in handy at some point. Another yellow drop fell from the sky right where I was farming, and I just couldn't resist such gifts from the art gods despite the last 2 disappointments. Better fur, dude. Holy, can have all fur, never get cold. Flying over to the icebergs, I smacked up the rest of the oil nodes before crowing up Hank and getting to the organic polymer side of things. Okay, I've got 28 polymer, and I'm pretty sure I need like 800 for both forges, which is kind of terrible. No, don't eat that. I needed that. I'm really not trying to craft hard polymer in the fabricator because that'll just eat through my cementing paste stocks, which is usually fine, but I can't find any beavers, so I'm not wanting to farm up cementing paste by hand either. Even these penguins were pretty hard to come by, as pretty much everything carnivorous over here in the snow eats them on sight. Might as well go and try and snatch up this red drop. Oh, electronics. Oh, a compound bow? That's always nice. Back to looking for penguins, but I haven't found like any. I'm pretty sure I am going to have to farm hard polymer, which really sucks. The penguins literally went extinct, so I was left with no other option but to just fly back home empty-handed. Hello to my big beautiful base. This thing does look really cool, I won't lie. Okay, well, I guess I should get this thing crafting polymer. All right, let's grab the obsidian that I do have. So I'm definitely gonna need multiple fabricators to craft all this. I actually pulled all the stuff for another fabricator into the Argie. I then emptied out the first one, picked it up, and I placed them both down next to one another. Can I make one more fabricator? I'd like to have 3. I was only missing spark powder, so I quickly made a new mortar and pestle, slapped it down, and crafted it. And now let's pull for one more fabricator. Perfect. This looks really cool, I won't lie. I fired up one of them to start the polymer production, and I ran back out to grab the air conditioners from my boxes since I was currently melting in my own base. Okay, now let's go farm obsidian, and then I'm gonna have to go out and look for more paste. And yeah, I'm pretty much already out of paste. Okay, let's hope some beaver dams have spawned back in by now. I flew out on the PT once again to do another lap of the rivers and lakes, but unfortunately it looked like the beavers started a revolution against me and just straight up refused to build any more dams. Man, y'all taxpayers are slacking, dude. I'm not finding any paste. Oh, finally! I'm gonna need a lot more of these. Oh, there's 2. Okay, so I got some paste, but this just isn't enough, so I think instead of making a chemistry bench and farming it by hand, I'm gonna tame a beetle buffo, the giant frogs, and make some scuba, and we'll go into the swamp cave. And if you don't know, if you kill bugs with the beetle buffo, you actually get a lot of cementing paste as well as chitin. So that's a pretty good way to farm cemented paste. I think that's my best option right now. When I returned back home, I queued up a bunch more polymer, and I quickly constructed a simple taming trap inside the base, so I can just pick up one of those frogs and carry it back home with Chick. While I was out flying to the redwoods, I got assaulted by something I really didn't expect to see fighting. What's this guy's issue? Why are you attacking me? Is it because I got close to your kid? Dude.
Bye, have a great time.
I bite him once and he just flies away. Okay. Anyways, I soon made it out to the swamp, so I started looking for a high-level frog since I actually needed it to be able to take some hits. Oh, 145, that works for me. I picked the little guy up and carried him all the way back to his new home, whether he liked it or not. As usual, I slowly approached the trap so I could get it in on the first try. Of course, I then got it in on the first try. Man, get in the... Why is it... Alright, okay, I don't think it can fit in. Alright, this is gonna be a really weird shaped trap, but this is what I've got to work with. At the very least, my unusual shaped trap was big enough to actually fit the frog in. So I dropped it in and quickly got to tranking it out. There we go. Okay, now it's asleep. Let's get this guy some prime meat to tame. The source of said prime meat was of course the first thing that I spotted outside my base made out of prime. Alpha Raptor, that'll work perfectly for prime meat. Low Kermit. Okay. What do I need for a Diesel Buffo saddle? Now, I also needed a full set of scuba so I wouldn't take the poison damage inside the swamp cave. I already had a couple of journeyman tanks in my storage boxes, so I grabbed those and crafted the rest of the set in one of the fabricators. Okay, here we go. Let's go out to the swamp cave. Get that sweet, sweet cementing paste. I picked Kermit up and carried him over to the entrance where I then parked Chick on a safe ledge. I then switched over to the scuba and headed in. Just need to aggro the Meganoras. Okay, there's one. Hopefully I can get the rest of the gang. I also heard a Titanoboa. See, easy pace, just like that, dude. I licked the Titanoboa to death as well, but I didn't get swarmed by buggy boys, which was kind of concerning as usually there are literal entire nations of them in here. For now though, I posted up with my crossbow and sniped down all the snakes up ahead until an Arthropleura noticed me. Alright, let me go into photo mode. What am I dealing with? Okay, we've got the Arthro right there. That looks to be it. I managed to get an angle on it where I could pelt it with arrows without it spitting back at me. So I killed it before flying in with photo mode again to make sure that the area was clear. Not seeing any more Arthros, which is good. There were, however, the other cave creatures like spiders and snakes, so I had to lick my way through them with Kermit. Oh no! Why aren't there any Meganora? Yeah, so for some odd reason, the cave was completely void of any buggy boys, so even this plan of getting cementing paste folded. At this point, it'd be better just to hop around the swamp and look for them. I went deeper into the cave and I did find a few Titan drones with a small swarm of Meganoras nearby too. So I killed all those as well as the leeches for a little bit extra paste. It's a nice ghillie blueprint, but I've never struggled to get cementing paste in this cave like I have now. This is an abysmal amount of paste, dude. Hopefully this side of the cave has some more. Ooh, a red drop. Just some shotgun shells. Yeah, it's kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie. I had to fight a couple of really high level spiders as I continued into the other side of the cave, but there was still no small buggy boys in sight. Red drop down there. Before I could get to that though, I had to clear the pond of any leeches and a gang of titanium boas. So surely the loot inside would be worth the hassle. Yeah, that blueprint is never getting crafted. This place is usually swarming with Meganoras. And there's just none. I mean, I'm here, dude. I might as well go grab the artifact. Going through the corridors, I found a singular Meganora, which I of course killed. But other than that, I just ran straight into the artifact room and I grabbed the artifact with the immune. Yeah, here's the artifact. Didn't even plan on getting this, but whatever, I'm here. I'll take it. I guess let's get out of here, dude. I've only, that's not even a beaver dam's worth. That's crazy. Why aren't there any? Leaving the cave disappointed, I put Kermit into a cryopod and hopped back on Chicks so we could fly home and revise our plans. I did get some chitin at least, so I grabbed my mortar and pestle and placed it down by the generator, and I filled it up with stone to turn it into some paste at least. Okay, well, I can craft one forge, which I've got here. I just need more polymer and paste. Well, let's place this bad boy down at least. Hold up, I should probably make the actual gates so I don't misplace these forges. Perfect, the forge fits really well. There we go. Now I just need another one right here. Okay, well, I need more paste, so maybe while those bugs respawn and hopefully more beaver dams spawn in, let's do a big old metal run. I swear this is not an excuse to fuel my addiction. I genuinely need more metal for the electrical appliances that I plan on having in my base.
Stop the cap!
Alright, let's just open this hatch right here. I dropped the Anky in and transferred all the metal over to the forge, so there would be no shortage of that for a while now. Hey, back to looking for taxpayers. There we go. Once again, I saw a bunch of beavers around the rivers, but almost none of them have made any dams for me to grab. You got a dam for me, bro? Dude, these taxpayers are slacking hard. Even the thieving Ixie birds had something to say about that. Oh, not letting that slide. So many beavers, but no dams, dude. What's with this tomfoolery? It was almost starting to look like the art gods were doing their best at making cementing paste the one resource that I was just not allowed to farm. Alright, I guess beaver dams are just a thing of the past. At this point, what do I do? How do I get paste? I flew back home as I had some serious head scratching to do since the two best methods of getting paste were straight up not working for me. Okay, I'm dead broke on chitin paste and pretty much everything else. So I think that other forge, that second forge, is gonna have to wait for now, but I'll definitely get it placed down in this video. Yeah, I'm running out of water here in base. I think it's finally time I get my base irrigated. So I'm just gonna need an intake and then a bunch of water tanks, which of course requires cementing paste. Man, cannot catch a break. Then I'll craft 7 of these, see how far this gets me. With those crafted, I flew down to the local river and I set up a tap with a tank next to it. I then spaced out the rest of the tanks as much as possible and I almost got the irrigation up to my base. I did have to craft a couple more and I placed those down both inside the base, one inside the circular wall and then one under the smeltery. So now I just need to make a water tap. There we go. Water in the base. Okay, so now that I have water in the base and I'm still waiting on cementing paste so I can craft the second forge, I think it's about time that I lay myself out a greenhouse, which I'll probably put just somewhere over here. I can lay out the foundation and then I obviously want to make greenhouse walls, but I'm pretty sure those require cementing paste as well. Probably move my smithy inside my base. Here, let me just pick up everything over here and we'll move it all inside the base. I loaded Chick up with all of my belongings and I looked into the forges that still had a decent amount of raw metal in them. So I transferred all of that over to Hank before packing up the foundations and moving Hank into the smeltery. With the metal transferred, I brought Chick into the main base and I placed down all the storage boxes so I could store my stuff away. Alright, I think it's time I just spend the resources and make a fridge here. Then I'll place fridges over here. I'll definitely, oh shoot, I'll definitely have more fridges, but not right now. All right, let's lay out the greenhouse and then I'll go back to the swamp cave. There was this nice flat patch of land over on this side of the base, so I could actually use foundations here instead of ceilings and pillars. Okay, here we go. We've got the platform for the greenhouse here. It's pretty big. I'll be able to fit a bunch of crop plots in here. Alright, let's head back out to the swamp cave now. This time around, I actually managed to get a decent amount of bugs killed, and the results showed. Okay, finally got my hands on some paste and chitin there. Basically just decimated that whole cave for, all the bugs. Alright, chick, come back here, dude. When I made it back home, I fired up the fabricator again to make the remaining polymer for that second industrial forge. And I'll just pull for the forge here, and finally, my second industrial forge. Probably won't ever really need that, but you know, whatever, it's good. It's nice to have. Perfect. Now I can smelt at double the rate. I'm gonna be able to produce metal so quickly. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, next up on the list is to make glass walls, glass ceilings, and a glass doorway for the greenhouse here. So if I do some quick math here, this is 6 foundations long, 3 foundations wide. I'm gonna make it 2 walls high, so I need 12 on this side, 12 on this side, so that's 24, 6, so I need 36 walls and then 18 ceilings. That's gonna be very crystal expensive, I already know. I made as many of the walls as I could before hopping on Chick and grabbing Hank and then flying up to the volcano to stock up on crystal once again. Yeah, that's a lot more crystal. Let's go back to base with this. With all that, I could craft the rest of the walls, all the ceilings, and the door. Okay, got all my greenhouse structures here. Let's place these down real quick. Okay, there we go. It's all built now. I just need crop plots and crops in here. I first made another water tap, which I placed on the back wall, and I then went out to farm up all the crop plots. Okay, here we go. We got 20 crop plots. That's not bad. Place them in here for now. These are just going to be for regular crops. And then later on, I'll probably have like, I don't know, maybe I get beehives or something grow in here. But not for the very distant future, at least. Really love how they made stacking crop plots snappable. It's a very nice feature to have. Okay, I should probably get some fertilizer and actual crops growing in here. Now, I could do the poop glitch like normal, or I guess it's not really a glitch. I kind of just poop over and over on a toilet. Instead, I'm going to tame myself up a Phiomia, because if you feed them stem berries, they poop a lot, and poop acts as pretty good fertilizer, especially from Phiomias. That being said, I emptied out my inventory of any unnecessary weight, and I headed out with my PT to find me a poop piggy. Its only purpose would be to stuff its mouth with berries and produce fertilizer, meaning a lower level would actually be better, so I can tame it quicker. So of course, the art gods blessed me with this guy. Oh, it's a 135. Doesn't really matter that I have a high level, but whatever, I'll take it. Get some meho berries for it. I fed the Phiomia, and pretty soon it woke up tame, so of course I gave it a fitting name. Piggy. Alright, Piggy, you're coming back to base with me. Alright, I'll throw Piggy out in this corner here. Now I need to farm up a bunch of stem berries to feed it. I'll just do that with a theory here, I guess. I farmed up just under 500 stem berries and came back to force feed Piggy. With my inventory full of poop, I hopped on the theory to get some more berries for Piggy to munch on, and I ran into the greenhouse to distribute everything into the crop plots. Alright, now I need to get seeds. I think I'll just continue to farm with my theory here. Alright, I've been farming for just a few seconds here, but I haven't been able to get my hands on really any seeds that are for crops, just all berry seeds. I think I'll just use this as an excuse to go out and tame a Bronto that's just better for berry farming anyways. Before going out, I sorted through my storage boxes, mainly taking the spoilables out and storing them in the fridge. I need to make a grill first though, I'm struggling on food here. I ran out with Theory to clap a few locals for raw meat, but while doing so, I spotted some buggy boys, so I just had to go get Kermit. I'm taking all the paste I can get. Yeah, see 28 paste from one bug. Yeah, that's just a free 100 paste right there. Back to getting raw meat though. I kinda just slapped everything that was made out of said meat, so I quickly amassed a decent amount of it. I then threw it all onto the grill to cook while I went out to look for a Bronto to tame. Oh, here we got a 145 Bronto. I killed a couple of Rexes that were harassing the locals, but the 145 Bronto got attacked by a Ceratosaurus. so I decided to ditch it and find another high level instead. Oh, Alpha Carno. Alright, maybe that 145 Bronto isn't as screwed as I thought, because these ones seem to be even more screwed. No, there's another 145 right there. I wonder if I can lead this one away. Yo, dude, follow me. Come on, we gotta get away from that Rex and Alpha Carno, big dog. Let's go. Time to move them chunky donkey legs. Once I let it down the beach, I pulled out my crossbow and got to tranking it out. Oh, okay, well, it's asleep. This is gonna take forever to tame, dude, I already know. I'm gonna go back to base, maybe get some spikes for this. When I returned to home, I quickly gathered up a bunch of Mayho berries with a theory and crafted up a few spike walls. Yeah, this thing's gonna take a minute to tame, and I've got some spikes. I don't think I'll even place these. These aren't gonna do anything to protect it. To make sure that it tamed up alright, I stood by it with the PT, patiently waiting until it woke up. Finally, Bronto's tamed up. Let's get this crowd up and back to base. Bertha. On my way back home, I stopped by a yellow drop, which hooked me up with a fresh pair of fur kicks. When I returned, I threw Bertha out and I ran straight over to the smithy to craft a saddle. Alright, let's try and get some crop seeds now. There's no shot, there's a theory right here. It's level 100? If I hit that, I might be cooked. I tried my best to swing away from the theory, and pretty quickly I got multiple of each seeds. So I brought Bertha back inside and ran over to seed up all my crop plots. Whoa, what? Poop doesn't last nearly as long as I thought it did. Maybe I do need fertilizer. Alright, let me get some more poop for in the meantime. After force feeding my Phiomia a bunch and picking up all the product, I ran back to the greenhouse and found yet another issue that needed solving before I could get my passive income and flowing. Oh, they're not irrigated, what? I made another tank which I placed right next to the crop plots, and that fixed both of my issues. Okay, that's why they're spoiling so quick. I'm gonna have to farm more poop now. I fed whatever stem berries I had left to Piggy and distributed the poop into the crop plots, and I went back outside to farm even more. Hey, all the crop plots are filled up with fertilizer and the crops, which is nice. I think this greenhouse could use a little bit of work though, some detail at least. Let me grab some stone pillars, see what I can do. Okay, I like that. We'll add some stone pillars on the corners and then wooden ones just along the top. So I crafted up a bunch more pillars and copied the design all around the greenhouse. Okay, that looks a little better for the greenhouse. It's really simple, but I like it. Okay, so next up, I want to build a giant hatchery platform. And for that, I want to put a bunch of air conditioners basically under the actual platform, under the floor here. And that'll make it super easy to raise baby dinos, mutate them, kill them for power leveling, all that stuff that I always do in my videos. But to do that, I'm gonna need a lot of air conditioners, and to make a lot of air conditioners, I need a lot of electronics, which of course I need a lot of silica probes, and this 305 that I have is not gonna be enough. So for that, I want to tame an anglerfish, which are at the bottom of the ocean. So first, I'm gonna have to tame an ichthy. I've got a lot of work ahead of me. To start, I wanted to make an ichthy saddle, but that requires raw metal for some reason, so I had to fly out to get some real quick. Alright, before I go out, let's pick up these thatch foundations. They're such an eyesore, but they were useful when I needed them. Oh, what? I also picked up the other row on the opposite side and headed out to the ocean to find me a dolphin. Got an ichthy right there, but there's a red drop over here I'm gonna go check out first. Should probably get some meat and prime meat to actually have on me while taming the ichthy. Yeah, that's really useless to me. Hold up, these elevator platforms might be good. Demolish some. Anyways, I packed up a random Carno that was trying to kill a Pelagornis and secured the prime that I needed. 145's this close to the surface? Come on, dude, get back here. I'm gonna tame you. Come on. Getting closer. Wait, bro. Why are you following me if you're not hungry? What's wrong with you? Got it. Name this thing Fishy. I then saddled Fishy and stuffed him into my pocket as I had to go back home and get stuff prepared for the angler. But I once again stopped by a yellow drop on the way back and found some more fur inside. Back to the crib, I wanted to demolish those elevator platforms that I got, so I needed to craft an elevator track. Ooh, those are expensive. I had to craft a little bit of extra polymer to make just one track. And then I'll just, doesn't matter where I place it there, place the elevator, and then demolish it. Oh yeah, I mean, give me a decent amount of resources. The polymer's nice. Alright, next up, I've got to make up another generator and cryo fridge, because I'm gonna have to be able to throw this ichthy out in the water. Looking into my cryo fridge, I also needed to craft more cryo, so I loaded up the Argie with all the resources that I would need and headed out to find a drop. Oh, 150 Gigantoraptor? That's pretty cool. I don't know how useful that would be. I flew all the way up to the top of the volcano where a purple drop awaited me, so I loaded it up and got to crafting. When I returned back home, I made a few extra electronics for a generator, and I threw some hide and oil into the Indie Forge. Yeah, I've got the generator and cryo fridge now. Now I just need to farm up a bunch of narcotics. Probably some tranks as well. Anglerfish wake up super fast, and obviously I want to tame a high level just because it's better melee damage, get more pearls. You know what, to do that though, I'm probably gonna want a chemistry bench. Let's see if I can't pull for one. Nah, I'm missing 250 electronics. Yeah, I can't afford one. Okay. That's why I'm taming an anglerfish. So I deployed my 2 other mortar and pestles instead, and I went outside with Bertha to farm up a bunch of narco berries. When I returned, I split them all up into the mortar and pestles and grabbed a bunch of spoiled meat and then got to cooking. Alright, there we go. We got a ton of narcotics crafting. Ooh, red drop coming down right here. What? Ooh, good flak leggings and more scuba. Never complain with that. Armor is super helpful in hardcore. Shortly after landing back at base, another drop appeared, and this time it was a yellow one with a ring. Oh, an air conditioner's nice. Another metal elevator platform. I demolished that for resources, and I waited around for a few more narcotics to cook up before finally heading out to go tame me an angler. Alright, I've got over like 550 narcotics. Actually tame the angler, and I've got enough trank arrows, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I want to cryo up my Dodic and Theory here, and then we're gonna fly out to the ocean where I'm gonna deploy the Ichthy. But I'm actually wanting to build a small fishing shack type outpost thing, basically where I can throw out my ocean dinos and have a permanent location where I can always have a cryo fridge and generator. Okay, let's head out to the ocean. I think I'll go up northeast here, and that's where I'll set up my establishment. Oh, I have an idea. I think I'll just repurpose my starter shack here, and I'll make this my actual ocean base, I guess you could say. I just have to extend the spikes out into the water a decent bit, make a gate. Sweet, this works perfectly. Reuse and recycle, baby. I slapped the generator and cryo fridge down, and I picked up some of the spikes so I could have them go out towards the ocean. Alright, I now need to farm up the actual trap for the angler, as well as more spike walls and a few gates for the water pen. This should be relatively quick and easy though, with these farming dinos I have here. Oh, I forgot. Okay, that Ichthy could swim right over. Let's place another spike. I can still swim right over. Okay. Let's hope nothing else can. How about that? Let's throw Fishy out of the cryopod. Alright, now let's farm up the actual trap for the angler. I went for the classic design of 4 foundations, a few walls, and a dino gate. Okay, got the angler trap all made up. I'm ready to go out and tame one, man. Let me just get a little bit of food for my Ichthy here. Going into the ocean's gonna be quite dangerous. Alright, Fishy, let's do this. Time to look for anglers. They really only like to spawn way deep down in the ocean, which is awesome because if I get caught in really any situation down there, yeah, I'm dead. You're probably not seeing this video, so I'm gonna hope that doesn't happen. That being said, I swam all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, and I soon ran into the first major threat. Oh, it's a demon fish. If those get me off my tame, I'm so cooked. Literally my worst nightmare, even as a level 20. The next thing I spotted was a level 145 Mosa, but that could be avoided pretty easily, so I was not too concerned. Oh, I think I've been spotted. I've most definitely been spotted. Okay. It can't swim that far up towards the surface, so I can kind of just get away pretty easily. As I continued exploring the ocean, I reached the northern side of the map, so I had to turn back around since even with full scuba on, I was freezing to death. Oh, here we go. 135, secluded. Oh, of course, I got these dudes to deal with now, though. Let's just lead them away. Luckily, the Plessies work the same way as the Mosa, meaning as soon as you swim up to a certain point, they completely forget that you even existed, so you can just get away. Hold up. Oh, we got jellyfish. I only have tranks on me, but I'm gonna take this out before it causes me any issues. Biotoxin is actually really good for keeping stuff asleep. Once I had the angler in sight again, I found the perfect spot to set up my trap and got to work. By the time I got the trap all put together, the angler had swam up a decent bit. So I had to follow it and try to get its attention from afar. Yes, come here. Follow me, sir. Down here to the definitely not trap. This Ichthy following me could be good too. Anglers, They lose torpor very fast and they're very squishy. They've got a high chance of dying when you try to knock them out. So maybe I'll kill this ichthy and feed it to the angler so it gets its health back. Oh, I locked myself in. Let me out, let me out. Got it, I got it. I shot a few arrows at it before pulling out my pike and stabbing the ichthy inside so I could heal up the angler. Take a bite out of me. Eat me. Don't I look good? Don't I look good and juicy? Yes, okay, it ate it. Pass it. Fishy, you gotta chill. We're trying to knock this thing out. Yes, it's asleep. Okay, perfect. All right, I'll just feed it 100 narcotics straight off the bat. You might be thinking why it's already at basically near full torpor. Well, basically, it's just gonna keep it at full torpor. It'll like keep going up even when it drops. And since I fed it 100, it'll do that for a long time. So I should have a few minutes here to get some prime meat for it. I swam all the way back to my thatch shack outpost and I hopped on Chick to go and kill something made out of prime. Level 20. Absolute prime target. Perfect. More than enough prime. With the food secured, I hopped on Fishy and swam back down to the angler so I could get to babysitting it. Oh yeah, this thing will tame quick. Feed it some biotoxins, this will really keep it asleep. I'm pretty confident. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna go take a leak real quick. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Oh, I'm back. Doesn't look like we ran into any issues. Eventually, the angler tamed, so I named it Lantern and then peeped the stats. Looks good to me. 48 points in the melee, 47 in the stamina. That's crazy good. Oh, that's awesome. I cryoed it up and I placed a trap up as well before swimming back to the fishing outpost. All right, here we go. I stuffed Fishy back into my pocket and I actually picked up my generator and cryo fridge since this spot where I wanted to farm pearls was on the complete other side of the map. So with my Dodic in theory cryoed up too, I headed back home to sort out my stuff. Okay, let's go get pearls. I know a good spot to get pearls on the corner of the map here. Just gotta fly out there towards the red obelisk. Okay, here we go. I'm out in the corner of the map. Let's set up my generator and cryo fridge. 3 decades later, the cooldown expired, so I threw Lantern out and leveled up his melee a bunch before swimming down into the depths. Plesiosaurs aggro from such a big distance. Can I kill them with the angler? How much damage does this do? 130, that's not bad. Oh, that Plessy hits for 200. Never mind, okay. Not bad. I swam up to the threshold of the Plessy's attention span and I watched as they both peaced out. Once the coast was clear, I swam down to the ocean's floor and got to munching up the pearls. Alright, here we go. Big money pearls now. Now that they're shiny again, so easy to find. There we go. This is the farm I'm talking about, man. Okay, that's plenty of pearls. Let's go back to base. I returned to shore where I cryoed up Lantern and picked up my structures and took off on the PT at a staggeringly slow pace. Oh, I'm encumbered with pearls. Oh, I don't want to drop pearls, man. Can I drop? I'm dropping the primitive flag chest piece. Okay, I can C-spin now, so I'm just gonna C-spin back to base. When I eventually made it back home, I filled up 1.5 fabricators up with just pearls. I then pulled a ton of metal over and started manufacturing the electronics. Once all those finished crafting, I made 20 air conditioners and began crafting all the ceilings to build the actual platform for the hatchery. Alright, now that I've finally got myself some air conditioners, it's time to make this hatching platform, and I think I'm gonna build it right in this little divot, and I might even just connect it to the tower here. I think that would make the most sense. And then I'm probably gonna leave all the space over there pretty empty, just for dino storage and everything. That being said, I ran outside on the ferry to do a quick bit of deforestation before getting to work on the platform. Right, then I'll put the hatching platform right off the greenhouse in the main base here. I'm not entirely sure how big I want it. Let me just lay out some foundations. Okay, here we go. I think I'll just toss some wooden stairs along the sides. It's nothing crazy. It doesn't need to be though. Lastly, I filled in the gaps upstairs with triangle walls. Okay, so we've got this platform here. Now we obviously need to place the air conditioners under it. Does my generator, does it have enough range? Oh no, not at all. I'm gonna need another generator. Man, I wish I had a tech generator about now. Yeah, I'm not able to afford one of those, that's for sure. So for the time being, I just had to slap another generator down next to my grill. And I've got 20 air conditioners here. Let's get under the platform and start placing them down. Okay, I've got a bunch of ACs down here now. That should be good. I should be able to hatch really anything on this platform now. Nice. Okay, now it's time to get some more machines and stuff here in the base. I want vaults, I want more fridges, I need a chemistry bench, maybe even 2 or 3. I like having 3 fabricators, it is really nice, I won't lie. So first, let me make... Dude, screw... I'm making 7 fridges. Who gonna stop me? Who gonna stop me? So what do I need for fridges? Oh shoot, I could probably craft all of them. I just needed to make more polymer as usual, so I fired up one of the fabricators, and with that, I crafted 6 fridges in the other one. Oh, what? No way they're off by a little hair. This time, I wouldn't allow all of my OCD fans to suffer. I wanted these fridges centered, so I packed them all up and replaced them from the middle. There we go, that's more even. Now, I think I just need some quarter ceilings, and I'll place some more fridges on top. We'll have a top row. I then crafted 3 more fridges and parkoured my way up with quarter ceilings and eventually placed the first fridge. Alright, hold up, yeah, lining them up perfectly without there being anything behind them was a pain in the butt, so I crafted up a few quarter walls as well and placed them down on the back side of the ceilings to help with aligning. Okay, here we go, that's pretty symmetrical. So now we got 8 fridges. What am I gonna use 8 fridges for? No idea, but we can sort out our stuff now. Put all like soups in one fridge. Alright, let me get like another 2 smithies here as well. Hold up, I got an idea. We're gonna take our generators offline, and they're kind of ugly to look at. I'm just gonna put them under the base. Back to the smithies, I could actually fit 5 of them, so I crafted 4 more and tried to place them all down next to one another. But I struggled a bit since they have weird hitboxes. Why is it placed in like, why is it? Yo, rotate, dude. Okay, I may have made more than 2 or 3 smithies, but I have 5 now. That's more than I'll ever need. Surely I make another grill as well just to make it symmetrical. Oh, what? Oh no, do they both clip into the wall? Hold up. Yeah, the grills were too fat to fit beside one another, so I had to place them down facing each other instead. Okay, there we go, that looks a little better. I'm gonna need a cooker, chemistry bench. For that, I'm definitely gonna need a lot of polymer. And to make polymer, I of course needed more cementing paste, which as you all know, was a pretty scarce resource this time around. Let's go out and look for taxpayers. Here we go. Yellow drop with a ring, don't mind if I do. That's terrible. I did find another beaver dam nearby, but this one actually had 0 paste, which was a first for sure. No paste? What in the scam? Oh no! This isn't good. This is not good. Get me out of the water, man. I saw a microraptor in that water too. My ghillie took a beating. That sucks. Really? No taxpayers in the hidden lake? What type of scam is that? Alright, whatever. Okay, I've collected a decent amount of tax. Next up, I want to make a chemistry bench. So let's try a pull for one. I need 220 electronics. That'll be easy. Man, it feels so nice to be rich. I needed more polymer, and I was just a few pieces of obsidian short of crafting enough, so I had to go out and farm some. When I returned, I got the rest of the polymer crafting. And I pull for a chemistry bench. That's the question. Spark powder. Yeah, here we go. Finally got a chemistry bench. I'd like a few more, but man, are these things expensive. Yeah, I want to put the chemistry benches over here in this main crafting area. Oh, I've got an idea. I can use quarter walls and quarter ceilings. I'm just gonna place it into a wall like that. Can you see it from the outside? No, you can't really see it. It's not that big of a deal. I'll place quarter ceilings like this along the back. All right, that's not gonna place how I want it to. Yeah, here we go. This is a good little crafting area. I can get me some more chemistry benches here. The next industrial upgrade I needed in my base was of course the cooker. Polymer was once again the missing resource, so I queued that up and waited around for a bit longer before concluding that I need more paste. So I cryoed up Kermit, grabbed my scuba, and headed out to the swamp cave on my Pteranodon. Oh, no, we definitely got creatures. Not the kind I want though. Definitely keeping this chitin now that I have a chemistry bench. I killed another wave of spiders, but I heard an Arthro in there somewhere and I have no arrows on me. So I've got to get out of here and farm up some real quick. There was still a severe lack of flies though. It was mainly titanoboas and spiders, which actually gave me a decent amount of chitin at least. Alright, I got some chitin, a little bit of paste, nothing crazy. We'll head back to base with this though. Back at base, I brought a bunch of stone over to the chemistry bench and I got to converting all the chitin to pure tax. Alright, can I pull for a cooker now? Awesome, I can. And then I'm hoping this will fit. I don't think it'll fit how I want it to between the... I could place it like that. I don't know, I don't love the look of that. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna place it right in front of this window. Looks good there. All right, next up, I'm already sick of these wooden storage boxes. It's time to get some vaults. Vaults are just so much better for storage. This time, it was actually the oil that I needed more of. I did queue up a bunch of polymer before grabbing Hank to fly out to the snow. That is, until I noticed a sneaky trespasser on my property. Why is this Argie in my base? Whoa! Why is he attacking my base? Not attacking me. Not sure what's up with this guy's AI. Alright, that was weird. Anyways, with that taken care of, I could actually fly over to the snow and farm the oil. Alright, that should be enough oil. Let's head back to base. What is going on there? Alright, arc being arc, I guess. Alright, here we go. Got more oil. Let's try and pull for 2 vaults. I think that's really all I can afford right now. With the 2 vaults crafted, I picked the first row of storage boxes up and transfer the items into the other row. I then placed down the vaults in either corner. Okay, I'm not going to be able to perfectly fit 3. What do? Do I try and sandwich some boxes into them? There we go. I'll expand on that in the future, but I am not farming myself any more vaults right now. They're too expensive. Alright, I want to make myself some grapples just to have on me. I feel like they'll come in handy in the future. Yeah, there we go. We got some grapples to keep on hand just in case things go really south. So what I want to do next is I actually want to tame 2 Thylas. I'm definitely going to need a good Thyla to cave or go splunking for artifacts in the future. So it'd be nice to just tame a breeding pair now so I can get an imprinted one. I still had plenty of narcotics left over in my storage boxes, so I'd grabbed a simple trap, made more tranks, and headed out on the PT. While looking through the redwoods, I just had to make sure I would find the tree kitties before they found me. Oh! Please be a low level. Thankfully, I had a pretty strong sickle on hand, so I chopped up the angry kitten, saving my hide. Oh, dude, he saw me before I saw it. Luckily, the next Thyla that appeared in my spyglass rather than on my neck was a high level 2. Here we go, female 130. Oh, female 140. I quickly put the trap together nearby and loaded up the crossbow to get its attention. What are the odds I'm able to land a shot from here? Surely. Easy. That's too easy. This is a pretty dangerous area. Let me clear these bushes. I'm gonna stand on top of this rock and drink this thing out. Yeah, here we go. It's asleep. It was actually fairly easy. Oh, 30 points in the melee off the bat? That's not bad. Everything else is pretty mid though, I won't lie. I fed the kitty some narcotics before hopping on the PT to fly home since I actually needed to cook some medium rare steak for it. On my way back, I stopped by a purple drop and I got a decent ascendant donkey saddle. Anywho, I was here for some quick prime meat, so I killed the first Argie that wandered into my personal airspace, as well as its child. Here we go, baby Argie, this is what I need. I then threw all the meat onto the grills and waited till it cooked and then headed back out to the kitty. This thing is gonna take a while to tame. Alright, I'm gonna try and find a high level male while I'll just continue to watch this one tame. It's gonna take forever. Pretty quickly, I spotted yet another Thyla, and it was almost a perfect one. A female 150. I need a male, but I can't not just tame a 150. There was a level 90 Thyla as well, so I decided to kill that. Did I hit a dimorph? Oh, I totally did. Oh no. When I eventually found the 150 again, I saw that it was fighting a few things, so I had to help out. Yo, dude, eat a body. It's fighting dimorphs. Once it was safe, I constructed the trap again and let it in. Got it. Alright, let's knock this girl out. Do I hear another one? There's another one. What? Who are you? Male 100. Nah, not worth taming. After leading the male off into the swamp, I continued tranking the 150 out just to get jump scared by a third Thyla. Oh no. No, my PT. Alright, dude, hold up. I gotta get my Argie. This is insane. I'm just leaving that guy in the trap. Go back to my other Thyla that's just about tamed. Of course, since I was in the redwoods, a terror bird attacked me while I was just watching over the cat. Oh, dude, I was tapped out. Dude, did you hit my Thyla? No. Thankfully, it did not. Okay, here we go. Thyla's tamed. What are we looking at stats-wise? Pretty terrible, I'm not gonna lie. We can definitely do better. I bet that 150 will come out a bit better. I just gotta go get my Argie so I can actually tame it. Alright, chick, I need you. I threw the Thyla out before taking off to fly back into the redwoods and get the 150 tamed. Or that was the plan at least. Oh, what? Oh, what? Once it let go of me, I ran into the trap and started poking it with my pike. Luckily, that was a level 100 Thyla, so the 150 must have still been around. Okay, I'm thinking what happened is since I deloaded the area, the Thylas just, I don't know, when you deload them, they kind of just pick back up on their trees. So I'm thinking the 150's around here somewhere. I think it's on a tree. I'm hoping it didn't just spawn. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it just stuck back up on its tree. I picked up one of the door frames and got its attention again with a well-placed trank. Is it coming? Not really sure what's up. I thought it'd be running to me by now. Well, it's down from its tree, right? Yeah, it's right here. Guess it just lost aggro. I'll pick it up. Let me place that wall back down. Now we'll drop it in. Oh, really? There we go. And it's in. Okay, that worked. I had to make a hide chest piece since the fur that I had on me was actively burning me alive. Alright, let's knock this lovely lady out. There we go. It's asleep. 32 points in the stamina. I mean, that's fine. I really want health and melee, though, and those are both pretty bad. There was still hope, at least, since it was a 150. So I waited around a bit before packing up the trap and moving on. Okay, we'll leave this Thyla to tame and back to looking for a high-level male. Another female 140? I mean, I can't not tame it, dude. Like, cause what if it has, I don't know, crazy stats? That was all the convincing that I needed to slap the trap down for a third time and snipe this 140 cat off the tree as well. I then picked it up with Chick and dropped it into the trap. Having a strong Thyla will be super nice, so I don't really mind taming a lot of them. It'll be worth it in the end when I'm able just to sprint through caves, decimating everything in my path. That is, if I can get one with good stats. Whoa! No! Are you serious? I mean, it's got 27 in the melee. That's not great, but like, what's the taming effectiveness? Surely it's not that bad. I don't know. Who knows? It could come out good. 7? No. Alright, I'm letting this thing wake up. Screw you, evil Perry. Never thought I would get my tames griefed by a evil Perry of all things in the redwoods. Anyways, I still have to get a high level male, so I continued to search while also killing any low levels I came across, or trying to at least. What? Yeah, these tree kitties were pretty sneaky. They just kept finding me before I found them. Oh, not good. No, it's level 25. Thankfully, none of the ones that pounced on me were high level, otherwise it might have been game over. Every time, man. Destroying my armor here. At least I'm clearing out all the bad ones. Looks like my 150 tamed. Go over and check out the stats for that. Hoping it's good, man. And yes, as you guys probably could have guessed by now, I did get jump scared yet again. And this one was bad too. Oh! Who is this? What level are you? Why are they all level 25 and why do they all get the jump on me? Every time. At this point, we're just gonna be playing a montage of me getting absolutely jumped. Right. What? Anyways, I made it to the 150, but the stats were not looking too good. 43 in the stamina, really. That's just not necessary. I flew over to the 140 Thyla that got attacked by Evil Perry, and I kind of just waited around for it to wake up so I could knock it out again. Okay, the Thyla is just about to wake up here. I gotta knock it out again without killing it. Once it was out again, I gave it the steak and waited around for it to tame, as it already lost plenty of food from having it wake up. Hey, here we go, it tamed. Was it worth it? Oh, it was. 40 points in melee. Okay, I think that's the best I've gotten. That actually was worth it. That's still nothing crazy, but like, it was worth it. I'll take it. So I still need a male Thyla, but I'm not taming any more Thylas right now. That was a pain. Yeah, after all those jump scares, I needed a breather. And I also have to fix my armor since it was in shambles now. Moving on, when I returned back to the crib, I compared the stats of the two best Thylas. What's my best? So this has 43 stamina, 43 weight. That's the 40 melee, 33. Yeah, so this one's completely irrelevant. This has the best health and best melee. So I'm just gonna name them their stats here. Need to repair my gear here, man. It's looking rough. No, okay, I thought I was out of metal for a second. I was like, I'm not poor. I also made a flak chest piece since the hide one was not really cutting it in tense situations. Alright, let's try and go get some organic polymer to repair my ghillie here. This is just important stuff to have. Maybe that'll give some time for more Thylas to respawn as well. That being said, I hopped on the PT and I headed out to the snow to look for penguins. Last time I tried to find them, I had a really hard time and it seemed like nothing has changed since. Alright, well, I just did a giant lap around where all the penguins are supposed to spawn and I didn't see a single one. So that was a big old waste of time. It's whatever, let's head back to base. I've got other things that I need to do. Alright, I now want to make like a artifact tribute, boss head, boss flag, trophy room, or area, I should say. I'm not totally sure where I want to put it just yet, but I need artifact pedestals, which are very obsidian heavy. However, I do have a lot of obsidian. Just to make sure, I first looked through my boxes to make sure that I didn't have any pedestals in there. I do have an artifact slain around. I completely forgot that I have this. Okay, I've got 3 pedestals. I think that's all I have. So there's 10 artifacts on the island, so I'm gonna need 7 more pedestals. Alright, I've got all this empty space just like within my tower that I'm just not using. So I think I'm gonna put the area like in here. However, I need to make a good way that can get up and down without flying. So I think I'm using all of these corners except this one back here. I need to make some type of staircase to get up in here. Alright, I'm gonna start picking up structures and hopefully I don't completely ruin foundation support and pick up everything. Can I pick up this? Oh, this is, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of terrifying. I know there's spiral staircases. Let me try and craft a few of those. I'm not entirely sure how they work. Oh yeah, so there's a spiral staircase. Piggy, you're gonna have to get out of this corner. Okay. I want it connecting up there. This is like messing with my head. Let me grapple up here. I think that'll make things easier. Here we go. Okay, hold up. There we go. I'm getting it now. Oh, perfect. Oh, and I can walk straight up of it? Okay. So this isn't the prettiest back here, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I kind of want to move it. I picked up a couple of ceilings, the stairs, and I grappled back up to place it all again. Okay, here we go. I'm liking how this is coming. I definitely need to add some pillars and stuff though. It just looks a little weird, kind of floating by itself. And then here, I'm definitely gonna have to add railings. Just put them around this, and I can have a pillar going down the middle here. Yeah, that does make it look better. I also added a second pillar right next to it before going out to get some more resources. Oh, we got a red drop coming down right next to the base. Could really go for a better chest piece. That's like the one missing link in my armor. That's nearly gotten me killed multiple times. When I returned, I constructed the third pillar as well. Okay, it does look better with these pillars here. Going out to the red drop, I noticed that there was an alpha raptor guarding it, and seeing as it was a level 145, I didn't feel like fighting it, so instead I kited it down into the jungle. Oh, elevator platforms, I'll take them. When I returned, I demolished said platforms for a bunch of metal and paste. Alright, I've got these gaps that lead out to these little balconies. I'm not totally sure what to do with them. If I pick up these walls? No, there's large wooden ones. That would be super annoying to place gates. Maybe if I throw some pillars down here, they'll look alright. Yeah, okay, that looks better than just having empty gaps. So I flew back out to stock up on thatch again and crafted up the rest of the pillars for the other 3 openings. Alright, I've got the pillars placed how I like. I think this definitely looks a lot better. Maybe I'll even add some going up there eventually, but now I'm gonna place these artifact pedestals down. Need to find a good way to display them. Okay, so I have a total of 12 artifact pedestals down here. There's only 10 artifacts on the island, but couldn't find a way to only place 10 pedestals and, you know, make it look good. This is all symmetrical and nice looking. I'll probably never have all 10 artifacts in here anyway, but we've got the first artifact here, the artifact of the immune. Looks great. It's gonna look a lot better when we have more. Honestly, I really like what I did with this area though. We can have some trophy mounts probably on these walls later. We'll get those to just house the boss trophies, and then I'm sure I'll place the flag somewhere decorative, but obviously I don't have any of those right now. I did have to do some reorganizing downstairs though, as it was pretty crammed. I then crafted a Thyla saddle and moved the kitties outside. Before I go out and try and finally find a high-level male, I got some finishing touches to do around the base. Yeah. You can easily see into here. This looks terrible. I just needed to add triangle walls under the stairs to fix it. However, I was somehow out of wood. So I hopped on the ferry and dropped a few trees before getting it. Alright, here we go. That's looking better. All those gaps filled in. Alright, next, before I head out to the redwoods, I know I said I'll do that, but I want to get medical brews. I have a cooker. I have no reason to not have medical brews right now. And they're very, very important in hardcore. That being said, I grabbed the narcotics that I had and made even more in the chemistry bench, and I did a little bit of reorganizing before hopping on Bertha to mow the lawn. Alright, let's start crafting medical brews now. Also, I wanted to label my fridges to make sorting stuff easier, but simply renaming them didn't really cut it. So I grabbed a couple of signs and I tested something. Oh, I didn't think this would actually work. This is a great idea. I'll just put a sign on each fridge. I can label them. Yeah, so I'm just using this for narco berry stuff or narcotics. And I can Increase the text size and make it huge. I can make it go off the sign. What? That's actually really cool. I'm not gonna lie. Let me make 7 more of these. I am absolutely cooking right now. Okay, this looks really cool. Anywho, now that I made a few small but worthwhile upgrades around the base, it's time to go back out into the redwoods and finally tame the high-level male Thyla. So I prepared all the taming necessities, grabbed some medical brews, and then headed out. What the? Is this a wild Argie in my smeltery? Back at the redwoods, it didn't take me too long to fly right by a tree kitty. Oh, I saw that out of the corner of my eye and then it jumped for me. What level are you? 95. It's not gonna do it, dude. I packed it up, then healed up my PT a bit and continued the search for more cats. Or the mindless flying around until one violently introduces itself, I should say. Oh my. Can I grapple out of this? Yeah. It was also just a low-level Thyla, so I killed it and grabbed the claws since I would need them eventually. Had a lot of luck with Thylas over here before. Doesn't look like I'm as lucky this time around though. Even unluckier was the poor wild Pteranodon that dared to enter the redwoods airspace. Oh, and I just saw a PT get taken down by one. Female level 90, but it's mate boosted. Surely it doesn't have a kid. Before investigating further, I had to check this purple drop out with a ring, and boy was it worth getting distracted. Oh my, holy drop. Good ghillie boots, but that long neck is crazy good. Oh, yes, dude. That's what I needed. 550 damage long neck will make tranking out anything a breeze. Even a Giga would easily be knocked out with this thing. Back to that Thyla, though. I dragged it out to the beach where I then killed it. And my next encounter with the tree kitty was quite a cursed one. Really? I'm gonna kill this thing before we get down to the ground. Why? What? Oh, he just took me into the mesh. Why'd he pounce me so far? Yeah, not really sure why I got launched across the redwoods, but I made it back to my bird safely, so I flew back home. Hey, do I have any normal rifle bullets laying around? Got some, not a ton. A bit more here, some there. Probably gonna have to farm up some spark powder. I've got a bunch of charcoal here. I crafted a magnifying glass just to keep on hand before heading back outside to farm with Hank. With more rifle bullets crafted up, I turned them into darts and headed back out to the redwoods. Oh, boom, dude. As soon as I go start looking again. Perfect. Okay. I landed for just a second, but then when I looked back up, the Thyla was not there anymore, so I had to go look for it. Now, where's this Thyla? Oh, there's a guy right there. Oh, is that him? That's gotta be him. Yeah, that's him. Let's get this dude's attention, hopefully without aggroing that 55. Where'd it go? I'm like really sussed out. Let's use the camera mode. Oh yeah, the 145 is like right in front of me. But as soon as I tried getting to it, I lost it again. So I had to get that other Thyla off the tree. I loaded up the long neck with the actual rifle bullets and domed it off the tree. Oh, 1600 damage headshot. Oh, and I got the other guy's attention. I led it into the trap and closed it off on the first try as usual. Okay, so a bullet did, what, a 1600 damage headshot? How much torpor are we thinking a headshot will do? What does 1800 torpor? Yeah, I'm gonna knock this thing out in like 4 darts. That's crazy. Oh, I can like knock this out with my hand. Oh, did I hit it on the way down? I totally did. 30 in the weight. Ah, this thing isn't looking to be very good. Whatever. I gotta go get some cooked prime meat for it now. I flew back to base and stocked up on grapples before heading out to kill something for prime. Baby Theory. That's gonna be annoying to kill with the Argie. I'm just gonna bring my Theory out here to kill it. You ain't getting in the way, little one. Oh no, I can't harvest the body. No! No! Oh, there's no way you ate the body. Whatever, I should have enough prime meat. Oh, I think my Theory harvested the body when I got off of it. That's weird. Anyways, I threw all the meat on my grills and I flew back out to the Thyla so I could babysit it while it tamed. It's gonna take a while to tame again. Whatever, I'll just wait with it. I did, however, get jumped by another Thyla, so I had to introduce it to the new boomstick. Oh, my aim's terrible. When I returned to my sleeping cat, I replaced the doorways as walls and then boxed myself in and waited for it to wake up as mine. Here we go. Finally, male Thyla is tamed. Looks pretty average compared to my other ones. Alright, whatever. I can finally breed out a Thyla, have a good imprinted one. Okay, so here we have this male Thyla. Let's compare the stats. So it's got 41 HP. Melee's terrible. I'm gonna really have to breed these things like out. I don't know, stamina's not a huge deal on these, especially with imprint. I think I'll just breed these two together. It's got good weight. It'll only just have mid stamina. Yeah, I'll just breed these two. I waited around until the baby Thylas were born so I could check their stats. Oh, I got twins. Oh, but they don't have the good melee. Yo! What's your issue, dude? Okay. I can't just have wild dinos coming to my base like this. One of these times I'm gonna be AFK and just not notice. Anyways, I waited for the next child, but as usual, it did not get the good stats, so it was also fed a rifle bullet. Again? Alright, I straight up can't have this. I know what to do. I need Plan X set on wild dinos. This is crazy. I'm just getting Argies flying over my walls. The thing is, I don't want the Plan X to be able to hit the baby dinos I'm raising down here. Let me pause the Thyla breeding here. I need to farm up some crop plots. That being said, I headed out to do a little more deforestation, followed by smacking up the rocks nearby with the Dodic. Alright, let me pull for 8 crop plots here. Need 8 large ones, that is. Alright, now I need to set up these crop plots so they'll be able to kill any incoming wild dinos, or Argies, I should say. But I don't want them to shoot down at my hatchery. I've got an idea. Maybe I can place them like on this ramp? I don't know. I really don't know how fast these are actually going to be able to kill a wild dino. Oh, I whistled everything to follow me, didn't I? Okay, well, that sucks. I decided that for now, I would only place 1 crop plot on each corner of the base to see if it could take the Argies down. Okay, they do all have water, which is good. Now I just need to get fertilizer and seeds for them. The plants are easy to get in the swamp, so I cryoed up my theory and flew out to my outpost. Alright, let's throw my theory out right here. No. There's still mass deforestation over here. I forgot how much swamp I leveled building my walls. Anyways, let me just go over to this plant right here. And that's more than enough seeds. More seeds than I really ever need. Okay. With that acquired, I flew back to base to source the fertilizer as well. Now I need to get some poop from this guy. Oh, perfect. Thank you. I don't need more than that though. I fed it an unhealthy amount of stem berries before going out to each crop plot to seed them. I think it's fully grown. Oh, nope. Now this has got to be fully grown, right? Okay, so now I can adjust turret settings. I guess I should explain this. I don't think a lot of people really know what these are. These are Plan X turrets. They kind of like shoot green balls of acid, and you can set it to shoot whatever you want. I guess they kind of shoot like the Dilo spit venom, but it's a lot more potent, does a lot more damage. After configuring the other Plan X's, I aggroed a random Argie over to my airspace and watched as the plants did its work. Okay, it's shooting at it. Okay, it's doing like 50 damage a shot, 48. Yeah, it did a good job of killing it. Yeah, these are good defenses. These should work perfectly. Now I can actually get back to trying to raise more Thyla babies. Or trying to get that one perfect baby to raise. Oh, we got another one coming in. Well, now it's getting shot. Okay, and then the Argie goes towards the Plan X. Okay, this one's taking longer to kill. Oh, this one's a higher level 95. Oh, wait, it's gonna get to my Plan X. Perhaps I need to beef up my anti-air defense system a little bit, but it was definitely working. Let's craft up another 4 crop plots. After those finished crafting, I ran down to check on my Thylas, and I got twins once again. But they're bad. Back to the crop plots, I actually wanted to place the rest down on those balconies that I had on the 2nd floor, but I had to pick up some of the railings to do so. Okay, there we go. We got all the Plan X down. So now, no matter what side probably an Argie flies in from, it should be getting shot by like at least 2 or 3 Plan X, which should be more than enough to take it down. And to fill up the organic turrets, I just needed some stem berries to force feed the Phiomia. I think I'll just hide Piggy back here. I got all the poop I needed, distributed it into the crop plots, and I set them all up before running back down to check on the tree cats. Another bad Thyla, man. Can't get the 40 melee staff for the life of me. Okay, so now I've got all the Plan X set up. Let's go lead another Argie in and see how it goes this time around. I'd like to get a high level to see how it goes, to be honest. Got 12 Plan X up on the base. They do look... Holy voice crack. They do look pretty cool on the base, though, I must say. Maybe I'll even throw some up there eventually. Of course, now there's not a single Argie around. All the Argies that were around were low level, but I still wanted to test the air defenses, so I brought a level 55 over. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's no way it turned around at that moment. Okay, it got shot though. Will it turn around for it? Yeah, it will. Now it should be starting to get beamed here. Yeah, we've got multiple shooting at it. Oh yeah, anything's gonna die quickly now. Perfect. Coincidentally, the dead body dropped straight into my smeltery, and going inside made me realize I completely forgot to place any windows or doors on it, so it's time to fix that. But first, I had to check on my Thylas again. Come on, 223, be good. Yes, okay, got all the good stats. This guy has some pretty lame colors, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of looks like a little brown bear. I'll call him cub. Like a little brown bear cub, even though he's a Thyla. A Thyla cub. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Just go with it, dude. I don't know.
Cub also needed his imprint to be strong, so I got to it.
Oh, what? Okay, I think my imprint settings are messed up. Oh, I know why.
A quick fix later, I waited for the second imprint interval and got the full imprint.
Another walk, I can do that. There we go. Now I got my imprint scale right. Alright, now once Cub's raised up here, I do want to test them out. Run through a cave with them. Pretty much got everything for the caving already. Let me place down these doors that I have here. Okay, here we go. Cub is now fully grown up. Okay, so I think a good little test of strength, I guess you could say, would be to try and get the artifact of the Devourer out on Carno Island. So let me grab a generator and stuff real quick.
I couldn't find said generator anywhere, so I just queued up a few electronics and then crafted a new one, simply because I'm ballin' like that.
Here we go. Got everything I need, I believe. Let's cryo up Cub here. Let's go out to Carno Island. Might as well check out this purple drop.
I got a new set of fur pants as well as a few tranks and rifle bullets. I also grabbed the free fireplace since I could probably add that to my base somewhere to make it look good. Going into the actual Carno cave, I set my cryo fridge and generator down by the moon pool.
Now I gotta wait a million years.
A million years later, I threw out Cub and whistled neutral on him before diving in.
Can I get out of the pool of water? Never had this happen before. There we go. Oh, I just launched myself. Alright, let's get to killing. I'm honestly gonna keep the chitin. Yeah, I'm gonna kill like everything in this cave, dude. Everything's made out of chitin. Oh, this is such good chitin farm. What? Alright, time to go full Doom Slayer mode. Dude, I should have done this from the start when I was needing pace. Holy.
Fighting all those cave critters drained Cub's health though, so I had to force feed him a little bit of meat before continuing.
Isn't there an explorer node down here? I'm gonna snag it, then kill all this stuff. Some levels. Oh, he's trying to give me mega. Yep, and he gave me mega rabies. Screw you. Which one is it? Hopefully this one. I missed. Nice. You're wondering why I'm jumping when I fight these bats. It's because it makes it way harder to hit you for them, so it lowers my chance of getting mega rabies.
And for when I do inevitably contract the disease, I can always just slam some medical brews. Anyways, I cleaned up the rest of the ops and I grabbed the second explorer note by the rooms before copying the artifact as well.
That was ridiculously easy. Cub is quite strong and it's only gonna get stronger.
On my way out of the cave, I killed any buggy boys left for the extra chitin. I then stuffed Cub into my pocket and packed up everything before departing the island.
Go put up my new artifact for display. Oh, chill out, dude. Yeah, man, looks good. I like this display area. I like it a whole lot.
I dumped all the chitin into my chemistry bench, and I filled it up with stone as well before getting all the cementing paste crafted.
There we go. Crafting up a whole lot of paste too. Am I really gonna run out of stone before I run out of the chitin? Oh, yeah, I am, man. Alright, I'll go farm more stone. Give me all the tax. Alright, what do I need for another chem bench? Yeah, I want another one. That's right. 250 electronics. I'm gonna need the polymer.
I queued up all the GPUs, but now it was the obsidian that I was missing for polymer.
The thing is, I'm doing well on pace now. Before I do that, will this fireplace look good anywhere? Oh no, I don't think so, because its stack doesn't go up that high. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this, not gonna lie. Like I'm just tossing it into a vault.
Anyways, I grabbed Hank and we flew up to the top of the volcano so I could stock up on obsidian again. Then when I got back home, I looked through my fabricators to find that I had to go back up to the volcano again.
No way, am I gonna be out of crystal? Ain't no way. Now I should go farm crystal. Oh my, there's a car in the mesh. Do we think it can get out? That's the question. Surely not, right? I'm just gonna farm my metal, or my crystal, and just mind my business. It's on fire, hopefully it dies. Oh my, it's out.
Yeah, I really did not want to risk Hank's or my own life over some crystal. So I flew up to the top and shot the car once, leading it into lava and killing it.
And it's dead. I wonder if I can snag a heart from it. That'd be a good tribute to have. I gotta be very careful though, it's in lava. Got it. Perfect.
I then collected my crystal in peace and flew back home to make the last few bits of spark powder that I needed for the chem bench.
There we go. There's my chem bench. Another one. I don't need more, but like the space is just empty. I don't really know what structure I could put here that's actually, useful. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Maybe when I'm super rich one day, I'll just put more chem benches there to make it look nice. I'm not doing that right now though. Alright man, I really only have a few things left to do in this video, and I think you can see one of them. Probably have seen it throughout this whole video. I've got to complete the walls. I've got to just bring them down on the inside here. You can see the pillars. It does not look good at all. I've really been dreading doing this. I've been putting it off, but also I need to build a throne and tame myself a kipper. My shoulders are looking pretty barren. But of course, that throne will be for Kipper, even though he'll be living on my shoulders.
That being said, I first wanted to get to work on the walls, meaning I had to go out to my outposts again and continue the mass deforestation of the swamp.
You know what, first, I think I'm gonna go out, probably hit the redwoods on the way there. Get a bunch of thatch for these walls.
A total of 3 long back and forths later, I had all the walls over to the main base, so I could get to building and finally finishing the entire wall.
Okay, I'm back to base with all my walls. I think you know what time it is. It's time to start building. Alright, well that's one corner kinda done. I forgot how terrible this is. Yeah, I'll be back when they're all done.
Luckily for you guys, it's not hours of sitting and carefully placing the large wooden walls. Instead, with the power of editing, you get to see the final result of this endless grind.
Okay, so with that, I think I've completed my walls. It sure took me a while and I was procrastinating a lot of it, but man, do these things look good. Even got all the interior all done, all the corners and cracks filled in. Gates are looking good with their stair ramps. Sweet, man. Now you all know there's only one real thing left to do. That's to go out, tame myself a Kipper for my shoulders, and of course, build a throne for him.
So after sorting Chick's inventory out, I hopped on the Pteranodon and I went out to scout the rivers of the island in search of Kipper himself. And of course, I couldn't say no to some free beaver dams either, since you can never have enough paste. It took a solid minute, but eventually I spotted a little otter swimming just below me.
Oh, here we go. Oh, 140? That's what I'm talking about. I need a fish. Hold on, let me just... There's not any fish around here. Let me just pick this guy up. You're coming with me.
Now you think finding a Kipper would be the hard part, but actually finding him some food would prove to be more difficult.
Where are all the fish at? How are there no fish? Where are the fish? I'm gonna have to fly across the map to get this guy some fish. Where'd he go? Why are you running? Whoa.
Enemy spotted.
Oh! No! I can outrun this, right? I can outrun this, right? I'm just trying to tame a Kipper. Just trying to check that guy's level. Yo, why is he not losing aggro?
Yeah, that rhino was pretty mad at me for some reason, as it chased me all the way until I ran out of stamina.
Oh, I led it to another Pteranodon just in time.
Anyways, I picked up Kipper once again and flew over to the nearest river where I finally found some salmon.
Yes. Kipper, where'd you go? I think it might be stuck. It's my chance. Give me another fish. Come on. Oh, I harvested it. No. Alright. Yeah, come to me, dude. Oh, where'd the body go? Dude, come here. It's not safe. Yes. Yes. Kipper. Oh.
Just in time, I was able to secure Kipper and get out.
Dude, did you see that Pteranodon gunning it from my PT? We got out of there just in time. Oh my. Actually perfect timing. Okay, let's craft Kipper his throne here. I'll just get him a chair. He's not a very big guy. He doesn't need a big old throne. This is his throne. Where should I put it? Put Kipper's throne up here. We'll watch over the artifacts.
I had to play a little bit of basketball with Kipper to get him to sit on the throne properly, but I got there in the end.
Okay, sweet. We've got Kipper on his little throne right here. And the base is looking good. 2 artifacts, plenty of pedestals for more. Plan X defending the base. Man, this place does actually look really good. I'm super proud of this. This is definitely my perfect start to Ark Survival Ascended. Hardcore Ark Survival Ascended. I didn't die once. Huge accomplishment for me. I have accomplished a lot. Wow, does this place look good. And I just want to say thank you for watching. I've got big plans for this series. I want to do a lot of cool and crazy things in Ark that really haven't been done or seen before. So please make sure to like this video, comment down below what you want to see. Yeah, thanks for watching again. Bye.